Let's go.
Hey now, everybody. Blah, 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 blah. Hey now. Good times all
Hey
around.
now.
What's up?
Hey now.
I'm
What's
your
up,
main
buddy?
man, Mercenot. Hey, it's your main man, Mercenot, coming to you. Oh, this is Hot Book Alert Live, episode 81. And we're coming to you. I'm your main man, Mercenot, on the ones and the twos. And I don't know. I'm just kind of just hanging out. Just hanging out. Ain't doing nothing. Just
Just
chilling.
another
And
casual Sunday, right?
yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Having yeah, well, I'll tell you about my day later. But joining me once again, great response from the last time you were on. We have Heroes Reborn Comics. What's going on, man?
What's up, buddy? How are you, man?
I'm all right. It seems
Yeah.
like you were having a much better day than me. It seems that's the way it
Uh,
looks. I don't
I had,
know.
I definitely had fun. When it comes down to comics, it was definitely an eventful day.
Okay, so how was it?
So,
What did you do today?
well, I got a message from a friend that
Mm-hmm.
deals with more sports trading cards, and apparently he came across some really nice books. And
Okay.
so basically, he's more interested in trading cards than he is cash. So when I asked for a little glance of what some books he had, I kind of said, let's see what we have before I get down there. So lots of
Oh
Silver
shoot.
Age Spider-Man. So we got 6, 7, 8, First Electro, 9, First Enforcers, 10. I think this is like second Doc Ock, first Craven. But it goes on and on. I just an amazing collection of Silver Age Spider-Man. Lots of Ditko transitioning into Ramita, stuff like that. Just in time for New York City Comic Con. Comic Con is less than a month, so I still have plenty of time to put them all in bags and boards and put notes because there are a couple of books that have some issues. And but this is the kind of stuff that we all live for, right? Like that phone call that I just saw some, like, you had to see, we came to meet up somewhere, and I said, let's meet up at Dunkin' Donuts so we can have some coffee and kind of casually talk about what's going on with these books. And then on his way there, he's like, yo, I just passed a yard sale and they had a comic box on the table. So I'm like, all right, so let's just go in one car. Let's take a quick ride over there because in my mind, I'm always waiting for that one day where it's like some old guy cleaning out his basement or his garage and there's like 25 timelies, sitting in a box. So we took a ride over there and it turned out to be nothing. It was a comic looking box that had like crap in it, like typical yard sale bullshit. So we went back to Dunkin' Donuts and but just amazing. To make long story short, I wind up getting the books. I'm gonna have to put together some really nice vintage trading cards for him. So if he's content and happy with what I give him, which will probably entail some Mickey Mantles and some other nice cards from that era, then we have a deal and I don't even have to come out of my pocket with cash. But if we don't, then it's going to be trade, cash, it'll be a little bit of everything. But either
That's amazing.
way, for me, it's a win because we're comic guys. So, and I will gladly give up trading cards any given day of the week for some nice vintage early single digit Spider-Mans.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. So, but you have trading cards like that?
oh yeah. Dude, I've been, listen, first of all, I've been collecting since I'm like a child, like you figure I had the collector mentality from the age of probably 8,
Okay.
meaning like when I opened a toy, I didn't throw away the box, like I
Hmm.
carefully back when I was a kid, like Migos from like the 70s, they came on bubble cards, so you just kind of crack the bubble up, take the figure
Yeah,
out, and then I saved the card in the bubble. So, I come from an era where, and right away, where the box art was just magnificent. $6 million man boxes, the 12-inch GI Joes. So I've saved everything, and that's how the collector thing started. And plus, I was a super Spider-Man fan when I was a kid. My entire room from top to bottom was, Spider-Man bed sheets, garbage pail, curtains, wallpaper. So I was always into books. And then, but it transitioned into like my thought of collecting was always with everything. It was trading cards, toys, comic books. So, as I got older, and of course, when you start making some money, you can kind of like upgrade all that stuff and get some really quality stuff. So I was collecting back when stuff was, I guess you can say, cheap. It's cheap. Anything is cheap compared to now, right? So,
that's true.
yeah.
It
So I
seems
got a lot
yeah.
of stuff. Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff out there that you can probably get that seems expensive now, but later on will be considered dirt cheap in the near future. So I know what you mean. But yeah, man, congratulations. And there were other books, right?
Oh, plenty. I mean, first of all, just because I know some people would care, I did get the Spider-Man number 50 in there. Um, there's also a first Mary Jane cover. There's a first Gwen cover. There's a boatload of those, and then there were some Silver Age horror, Tales to Astonish, very early, number 4, number 12. But this is like all not Steve Ditko, Jack Kirby,
Yeah.
Stanley Stories. This is really like the good stuff. Like if you really like that type of stuff. And then I got some beaters. Once in a while you get a beater in these boxes. But early Thor, this is what, 87? So you're talking fourth appearance of Thor. And this is before, yeah, well, yeah, I can't say before anything, but little Silver Surfer number 2. Um People really care about Harold's first Fire Lord was in there.
Yeah.
Then it jumps around to like stuff like this. Not much, but this is not stuff like he said he found. This is just stuff that while he's out there card hunting and stuff, he grabs books when they're in the deal. And so he amassed a short box and he's just like, I think he said he tried to sell to an LCS and they gave him what he thought was a little bit of a low ball. And they had nothing there for trade like he was interested in. So he reached out and I'm glad he did.
Hell yeah.
So yeah. Oh shoot, I forgot to say this. This was in
That's what
there.
I was about to say. Okay, so what
Yeah.
condition is the Exciting Comics?
Uh, if just at a glance, if this went, in my opinion, because I've sent a lot of these to CGC in the past, what, just under 2 decades,
Mm-hmm.
I would say this is probably I don't know, it's a detached cover because when I took it out, the cover was, completely like you can take the book out. So
Okay.
there's no attachment to staples. But um knowing the way they kind of grade, this would probably get a 1.5. It wouldn't be a 1 because it presents, and again, they'll put it in a case. It'll never move again. I wouldn't even bother trying to get staples because then it would get some kind of restoration or qualified label.
Yeah.
So this is I believe this is this is a Schomburg cover. Um Obviously this is right after the war because I know when you discuss with Ben Mr. Longshort, you guys are familiar with the transition from when these guys were fighting Nazis and Japanese soldiers to mafia guys or street thugs.
Yeah.
So generally, if you kind of know books already from the Golden Age, when they started fighting street thugs, it was after the war was over. So you can pretty much off the top of your head date it's after 45. So it's like
Mm-hmm.
1946. And while it still has the bubble 10-cent price tag, it's definitely under the 50s, 1950s.
Yeah.
So 1946, Exciting Comics, number 48, Schomburg cover. So that was kind of cool. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. And then there was this book. which is Kid Comics. This is the only other Golden Age book that was in there. Now
Holy
the story
crap.
with this, yeah, well, the story with this is a reproduction cover, which is why
Okay.
it looks so kind of like weird. But inside, of course, is the original comic. It's just missing the original cover. So
Mm.
now I got to do like our guy Dino, and I got to do probably a 3-year search for a cover with no book. So I'm gonna play the long game with that. It's gonna be fun. I want to see if one day somebody throws up just a cover or just a book that, hopefully it's so cheap. I don't know. I guess I really just gotta hope that somebody puts up a cover with no book. So
Exactly. It's
it's not
beautiful.
really an expensive book. If you get like a 4.0, you can get a slab 4.0 for probably $1,000. So I'm like, it's not really, as far as Golden Age superheroes goes, it's not an expensive book. But it's just going to be fun waiting for that cover to show up with no book inside. So, yeah.
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 Hey, man, congratulations.
Thank you, brother.
Yes.
Thank you.
Damn. Yeah. Speaking of looking through books, I was at I was at my buddy Mike's house today, and Josh Harlan in the chat here, he showed up. He had a couple of short boxes of modern books, and I picked up. And my buddy Mike, he picked up what did he pick up? I forget. He picked up Detective 880 and a couple of other things. And I think that's something he had been looking for a long time. And I picked up a nice little handful of books, which I'll be showing that off in a haul video sometime. I'm thinking sometime this week. We won't have a long story short this Thursday, so I'll probably do it like around Thursday or something like that. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
But yeah, I found some good books.
Right. Okay. I mean, I'm always excited to see your hauls, man. Like sometimes you got to question, what the hell am I doing wrong? That somebody can go in dollar boxes or $5 boxes and pull up some of the books you do. But I think some of it is geographical, because in New York, I think I've said this a million times to people, but it seems like almost everyone is a collector out here of something. And now that you have so many of these shows, even people who are not interested in books, they do watch a couple of episodes of anything, and they can kind of gauge an idea of, maybe I got something good here. It's not like before, where people will find things or just put things out for sale and you can find an amazing book for 25 cents. You're not going to find that in a yard sale anymore.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
that cheap. You got to be like, really just don't give a shit, and you're just trying to get something out of the way. But I found that most people have some form of education with collectibles these days. So,
If you let's see. If you follow Mr. Longshort, he was out and about. Let's see. I'm going to share screen.
yeah. Ben is finding some amazing stuff out there. I was watching his Instagram post.
Yeah, that was.
And man, he found a book that I've only heard about, never seen it.
Okay, so this book here.
Yeah,
look at that.
Right there.
Look at this. So
what is it? Yeah, go ahead.
This is not a troll. I found this at a shop in London today. Holy shit. Look at this.
Immersion, what I'm curious is, did the shop have any idea what it was? Or
I got to admit,
they clearly didn't. For the price he paid, it doesn't make sense. They didn't know.
It feels like overseas they don't put an emphasis on what's the word? What's the term I'm looking for? They don't put an emphasis on maybe just spec or values or anything like that.
Right. And maybe they just don't go into depth with everything they come across. I think they look at it as that by face value, it doesn't look like anything special. So just put it in a box,
Yeah.
I think out here in the States, guys are like always curious. Like, what is this? Let's look it up real quick, But
yep.
I don't know. That was an amazing find.
I tell you, let's see if we can look this up. So this is I forget what this is called. Superman. PRT. What do we call this? The Superman birthday comic. I forget. I forget what you call this. But this is a basically a custom comic. Some rich guy had his some rich guy's kid was having a birthday, and
Right.
he and his friend are featured in this Superman comic, and he paid however much to
Right. He talked DC, and because it was like, it's almost kind of like, if you think about it, like Billy Crystal wanted to be a Yankee, so they gave
yeah.
him a 1 day contract, and all he had to do was play the field once and get one at bat to be official. So this guy probably always wanted to be featured in a comic. He threw whatever money he required to get the minimum amount done with DC, and like you said, he's filthy rich. And I think Ego we were talking about this book earlier, and he's saying that there's somewhere around 200 of these in existence that were made.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to take his word for that, because I'm not really a DC guy. I've heard about this book from other YouTube shows, probably from Ben, because he's like the guy that talks about books like this, or even maybe from you at some point. But I don't know too many guys that really know about this book. I've like I said, I've heard about it before. I've never actually came across it. I've never even seen it at a show. Like, it's just, this is
I
the
know,
first
right?
time. Yeah, this is the first time I've seen somebody actually show it and say that the fact that he paid, I think in the pounds that he's talking about, I think, what was it, £8? That translates into around 11 or $12 American. So
Okay, so this is the Superman Bradman family edition comic here. Okay. So yeah, around 200 copies, but let me see if we can zoom in. Oh, geez. You messing up. You are messing up. Okay, zoom in. Okay, so this is the Bradman Private Commission, 1988. For whatever reason, I thought this was a lot earlier. But so this comic was commissioned by English. Oh, English. That might be why he found it in London. English
okay,
property
there you
tycoon.
go. That makes sense now.
Yeah. Okay. English property tycoon Godfrey Bradman for somewhere around $18,000 back then to celebrate his son Daniel's 13th birthday or bar mitzvah, and was given out to friends to mark the occasion. The comic was given to David Levin and drawn by the legendary Kurt Swan, with inking to help capture the likeness of the Bradman family. Okay, so so it makes a lot more sense as
that it's found over there. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, nice.
Dude, that's a major score though. Still, even though I'm going to be honest, when in reality, it's really kind of a nothing book, because it's somebody, kind of made a custom book.
Yeah.
But because you got to remember, this is during a time well before exclusives. Like, there was no one being contracted to do exclusives, or else you'd see billions of books like this. So it was well before companies were saying, yeah, it's cool to do an exclusive, or we'll give you a one shot or a one off. It was, unless they only, back then, the only time they did stuff like that is for charity. Like back when they were trying to send aid to Africa and stuff like that, they would make like a one shot. But
Yeah.
for a person to say, hey, can I throw you some money? Can I make a deal because I want to do something special for my kid? That's really friggin' unheard of. But like I said, he must have had enough money to get somebody to say, yeah, no problem,
So
But
we have
very unique, bro. Very unique.
Godfrey Bradman. So
when they have the name Tycoon next to your name, then it's money.
When they say tycoon, believe them.
Yeah.
Okay, so the comic features Godfrey's son Daniel and
Right.
Andrew Hunt, Daniel's half brother, along with the rest of the family, and story entitled "This Island Bradman." And
Right.
we're both Superman and Bradman's house are transported to an alien world to serve as entertainment. Superman is trapped inside a bubble containing a house by kryptonite beams, and the boys must manage to escape through an air duct and free Superman, who returns them all home. Wow. Okay, so it's not clear exactly how many copies were produced and figures for anything.
Well,
Sure, go
I
ahead.
guess the idea is how many people did he have invited to the party?
Right. So this is
So
basically a part. This was basically a party favor.
right. So you have to, if there was a way to figure out, I mean, obviously this guy's a tycoon, so he
Mm-hmm.
probably had, 100+ people there because like my brother's daughters are Jewish, right? So I've been to the bat mitzvahs, and you know, we're not rich, we got a little bit of money, but we've had, I think, up to 80 people. So this guy's a tycoon. He probably had about 300 people, no? In the ballpark
I got to imagine.
between all the family and then all of the rich friends, and because
Mm-hmm.
that's a huge event for the Jewish, families. That's a
Yeah.
big deal. So I'm imagining somewhere between 100. It's got to be more than 100 because, like I said, we had somewhere around 60 to 80 people at ours, and I'm assuming 150 to maybe 250, like kind of what the article says. So you got to assume that's a probable number of the guy probably said, "Listen, we're going to have this many people at the party." So, maybe up to 300, maybe, you know.
Okay.
So,
And
but
that makes
still,
a
either
lot of
way, the
sense.
fact that yeah, the fact that Ben found it over in the UK is amazing, man. Like he gets on he goes out there and he goes digging and he finds that book of all things.
I gotta ask him if it was in the Superman section.
Or was
Because
it a
no,
wall book? Or did he find it in a box, you know?
I got to imagine it was in a box. Because anybody, listen, anybody that know, like if you walk into a comic book shop, you would almost have to know what it is. I don't know. Probably not. Probably
No,
not. Because
dude,
if it was on
it
the
was marked at
wall,
8 pounds.
if okay, so if it was on the wall, um, that thing either it
Would it
would
be
have
a
been
wall book
gone
at eight
already.
pounds?
Absolutely not. Absolutely
Right.
not.
So it's in a box. It's gotta be in a
Yeah,
box.
it was in a box, and it was with the
Huh.
other Superman books, and
Right.
whoever sorted those boxes probably didn't,
Right.
they definitely didn't know what it was, and they weren't sure where to put it, and they just kind of stuck it somewhere. So it was probably in the Superman section. Nobody ever goes through the Superman section, so
Right.
props to Ben, if that was the case, because nobody goes through the
Right.
Superman section.
And how many now this is another thing. How many of those books do you think were tossed after the party? Water like damaged by spilled drinks or just tossed in the garbage, or how many little kids just destroyed them, reading them and tossing them. So out of,
Hmm.
let's just assume 300, right? Or 250.
Yeah.
There's probably immediately 100 $150 like gone because how many members of the family probably left and just like tossed it like bullshit, you know? Oh, or even if you kept it in the house for a couple of years and some mother found it after cleaning the room like tossed. So
Yeah.
I'm imagining half those immediately gone within 5 years, garbage,
I would
you know?
love I would love for Ben to go back to that store and
Yeah,
ask whoever like sorted that book,
right.
how did they get it? Who was the person that brought it in? You know what I mean? And
Okay,
then
yeah.
like maybe he can like kind of like retrace some steps. You know what I
Well,
mean? And talk to the person that brought it in, and maybe that person got it from somebody, and talk to that person that got it from that somebody. I would
right.
love that. I would love for him to do
Shoot him a
that.
shoot him a message. Maybe he can catch it before he leaves, you know? Because you know what's gonna happen? He's gonna say, "Man, I wish I did that." Shoot him a message like tonight and just say, "Yo, dude, if you catch this before you leave, go back and ask them some questions." Or maybe he
Yeah.
asked already. Maybe he's gonna talk about it when he gets back home, you know?
Hmm.
I tell you
Yeah.
what, I would love to hear him talk about it.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah,
looking forward to him here. I'm looking forward to hearing his story.
right. And meanwhile, here I am. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't give a shit about anything DC in the 1980s.
Right.
I think for me, I like DC 70s and below, and then I like DC somewhere I would say in the late 90s and early 2000s where there was some exciting, new appearances. And
Yes.
but for me in the 80s and very early 90s, DC was like a non-factor. So it's kind of
Hmm.
cool that there is a book that now there's probably going to be 50 people searching for it on eBay every day because of Ben.
But take a look at this. So
That's the original art. Wow.
okay, so as a side note, the art for the cover and all but one page of the interior art was sold by Heritage spring 2013 for just $5,000. That's amazing. Look at that. That's dirt cheap. I wonder what this. Okay, so if this springs back up now, what do you think this is going for?
Because of the book itself being limited. I mean, just real quick, are there any recorded sales on the census of that book? Just the book alone? Has anybody ever graded and flipped it? And is there a recorded sale?
Is there?
I'm
I
just
don't have.
curious. Did it sell for legitimate money? I have it, but I can't. I'm using my phone for the camera.
Oh, okay.
But
Hey,
I'm
somebody
sure
look up
if anybody in the
GPA.
chat, yeah, there's got to be. I see Igor. I see a couple of guys. Derek is here. Derek would know. I mean, Derek can look it up. Derek, look it up and see if this book is in the census on GPA, and see if there's any recorded sales. Just because I just want to know, did it sell for nothing, or did people know and they bid it up to like $500? So,
So,
but I would say the original art, if today that surfaced, I would say because of a DC nut that collects the rarity shit, this is probably as rare as it gets. Um, I don't know, maybe what did it sell for originally? 5 grand? Oh, under?
a
Um, double that?
nine
Maybe.
six
What are we
this month
talking
on
about here? Is
Heritage.
when you say
Oh, so
wait,
this month. Okay. Let's see.
oh wait, I'm sorry. 22 copies were graded by a single buyer. 9.6 sold for 4K. Oh, this thing that you're showing, that's that under 5 grand is for the slab?
Uh,
Is that what that is, Merson?
oh, this.
I thought I'm looking at your picture here. I thought that was for the original art.
Yeah, this is for the original art here. That in 2013
Oh.
sold for 5,000, and for the graded copy, it sold for nine. Okay, so 9.6 graded copy of the comic sold for 4K. Well, I don't know. That seems
I don't
cheap
know,
to
maybe
me.
double or triple. I think no, I'm saying in today's market, maybe double or triple that number. Figure
Yeah.
15K. I would, it's not really attached to anything except for somebody would have to just say the uniqueness of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
It's not. I
in
don't
the
know if
fall,
for anything more than that, go
in the fall, autumn of 2014, 22 copies were graded with less than half
Mm.
grading 9.4 or better. At the top of the census was one lone 9.8. Okay, all right. Well, that's interesting.
He's saying 22 copies were graded by a single person. So that means
Mm-hmm.
it's possible that there were leftovers and somebody found them and just said, hey, these might be worth something. Let's get it graded, or
Yeah,
knew they were worth something.
that's a
That sounds
very
like a leftover find. Like,
yeah, that's very industrious. Okay,
uh,
nice.
very cool. Interesting.
Hell yeah. All right. Let's see.
What a cool way to start the show. I love like this weirdness. Like, who the hell would find that book? And then, like I said, you had to go to UK to find that. Interesting. All right, what's
So
next?
okay, so let's see. 4,200. includes buyer's premium for the 9.6 this September on Heritage. There, I got it all. Okay, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. All right, let's get into some sales, shall we? All right. Look at this book here. Oh shoot. I can't pronounce it. L. Can you see the screen?
Hold on 1 second. That says, oh, this is Il Sor Hombre Araña. Let's just stick to that part.
Okay, so this is 164 and this is a 7.5 CGC 7.5. This thing sold for $3,000. Are you in it? Are you in at that price for this grade?
Listen, foreign collectors are definitely in it because this particular this book, they like Gwen out there, and she's not dead in this universe over there. She's in a boatload of covers. She's smoking hot. They gave her Latin booty, and all of books featuring her on the cover get huge amounts of money, especially if they're in high grade. 7.5 is kind of a high grade for a foreign book, in my opinion, because they did not care for their books the way we did early on with bags and boards and comic boxes. So, yeah, this I'm not in personally myself. I'm not into it for that because I would rather spend $3,000 on so many other books out here. But I understand why they did it with this because it is a huge thing for them. They really love this. Hombre Arañas and early Spider-Mans, and then the whole Gwen Stacy, covers is a huge thing over there. And it's a huge thing over here with collectors as well. We have lots. I know quite a few foreign guys. If I had that at I do bring a lot of foreign books to Comic-Con, and I've sold some books, man, for some huge money. And listen, apparently there's a following here as well. So it's just not. It didn't get as big as some people thought because I think it just narrows down to like certain books like this. Overall, majority of foreign books seem to be, I don't know. I always question when I read a guy's description of a book especially when you get these reprint covers of an AF-15 cover, but it's not an AF-15 book inside.
Yeah.
So I don't get why you would pawn it off as like, oh, first time AF-15 in like say Turkey. I'm like, but it's not the AF-15 book inside. They're just using the cover to promote a Spider-Man comic inside. So for me, I always have trouble with that. And when people ask me my opinion, I always tell them I stay away from high-priced AF-15 covers that don't have an AF-15 book inside. And if it's not a book from the 60s, 70s, or 80s, like why would you pay for a late 1990s or early 2000s? Why would you pay, $2,000 for a cover because it's the first time they used an AF-15 there. So I think sometimes what happens is people get caught up, and a lot of foreign sellers like to me it's a little bit of a deceptiveness. Like you say it's the first time, but yet it's not the book inside. So I think there has to be a little more honesty when it comes to foreign sales, and people also have to understand that you're not buying an AF-15, you're buying a reused cover that was probably used a billion times in so many other places before it got there. So it's kind of equivalent to buying, a Marvel Tales. They used AF-15. Are we spending, on the Marvel Tales AF-15 cover? Are we going to spend $3,000 on it? No. It's probably $30 book, in good shape. So I think that's how it should translate with that. But again, foreign buyers and foreign collectors are a whole different beast. So I don't hate them for it. Have fun with it. But
yeah, Gwen was looking she was looking really
yeah, they made Gwen hot, bro. They made Gwen hot.
They made her like extra sexy.
Yeah.
They knew it. I wonder. Okay, so there's that. What if Gwen Stacy had lived in the Marvel universe? Like if she had lived, actually, would she be this sexy?
You know, it'd be interesting they if they just wanted to have some fun, translate all of those books, that entire storyline into English, and just kind of make it new and
Yeah.
see if it works here. See if it works here. Instead of making Gwen Stacy, Spider Gwen or something, just make her the living girlfriend of Peter Parker, like that. Make her sexy, make her a cover girl all the time. Back then they seem to be ahead of the curve. Like right now, if you put a woman on the cover now, a sexy villain female or even a superhero or whatever, it sells. Sex sells. So
Mm,
yeah,
love this cover. Love this cover. Love it. All
absolutely.
right,
Yeah.
next. All right, next is Venom, Lethal Protector, #1 black cover error. This is a CGC 9.2. So this sold for 1875.
Hmm.
Hey,
Cool
you
book.
like these?
I like seeing it. I don't know if I want to buy one for 2 grand, but I love when somebody brings one to me at a show or at the LCS. My LCS once in a blue moon gets one. The best one I've seen him have, I think he had a 9.6 in the store.
Mm-hmm.
And it's interesting, but when you start hearing numbers like 2,500 or to 5 grand on this book, I'm like, it's cool, but I don't know if I want to be into it for that. And I also don't think I'm ever going to find that digging. That's just, it just seems like a book that I'm always going to admire from afar and never find it cheap. So
I
I'm
get
fine with that.
yeah. All
Uh,
right. Next is what is this? Amazing Spider-Man 31. So it's basically a lot of
mm,
28 Spidey books. So I'm gonna see if I have the listing here. Okay, here we go. All right, let's see what's going on. So this thing sold for 3,500.
mm.
All right.
What do you think is the best book in that lot? I see right away First
Yeah.
Gwen, First Scorpion. I see Death of Green Goblin. What fourth, third or fourth appearance of Green Goblin? I see. Um, what else there? Death of Captain Stacy. First meeting of Human Torch and Spider-Man. Oh no, that's not first meeting, but that's the first in his title. They
Mm,
actually met in FF1. First Spider Hulk. Secret Wars 1. It looks like a black cat next to something up there.
let's
Is
see.
that a first black cat? See, like two comics above Death of Captain Stacy.
No,
It looks. Is
no,
that?
that's not.
It
That's
kind of looks
not.
like her cover. No,
Yeah.
it isn't. Right? That's an
Nope.
earlier.
No, that's
Yeah.
not.
But but is it? You're saying is it worth 35?
Yeah.
I don't know. Are
I
there a
mean,
lot more books than what's being shown here, or
yeah. Look at
it
this.
is what
So
it
you got
is in the
this.
pictures?
You got this Invincible. You
There's
got the
some
Clone
Invincible
Wars.
there. I don't know if that's a big book.
Darth Vader number
Well, that
3.
Invincible Kirkham is not. Yeah, that's and if that's like a newsstand, that might be something. Um, you got first. What is that? What is that? First Dazzler,
Yep.
X-Men. Uh, eh, I guess it's also depending on grade. I don't know grade. I'm sure if like some of those early Silver Age Spider-Man books are grade worthy, there's probably some money there. The second Kingpin there I saw. I don't know much about the Invincible books. I remember those were really hot when they first dropped. They were getting
Yeah.
like $900 a piece. But then it might be different versions of it. I know there was a virgin, there was a gold foil, a red foil. So I don't know which one that is as far as I mean that Infinity stuff is garbage, meaning, I could find a billion of those digging. I guess all the money is in the Silver Age Spider-Man, probably some of the Invincible stuff. Um, that Ahsoka, third appearance of Ahsoka. I can't tell if it's a newsstand, but I saw a newsstand get a few bucks one day. I don't know if that's the going rate, but
I mean, yeah, it looks decent. How much does this thing go for? So 3,000,
it's a risk. Like I
3,500.
said, yeah, it depends on all those Silver Age Spider-Mans, the quality, the what they grade at if they get slabbed. If they go mid grade or slightly higher, then it's worth it because you're gonna make money on a couple of key books there.
Okay. All right. Next is Conan. You know what? I forgot to ask. Did you watch the Canelo Crawford fight last night?
No, I got caught up doing some other stuff, but I did keep an ear on it, meaning I just kept checking the internet because there are
Yeah.
certain sites that will actually give you round by round, kind of like for I didn't catch it, but I did see the end results. Apparently he lost. So
Well, the real fight.
I'm assuming the guy's the fucking beast that beat him.
Yeah. Oh, Crawford. You know what? He was handling them pretty well.
Yeah.
But honestly, the real fight was trying to stay awake during that. That was it. That was it right there. But and the music that Canelo came out to, I don't know what it was. It was like a mariachi band, right? But it was like I don't know what it was. It was really
Well,
good.
he's hardcore Mexican, so
Yeah, but it was like it was like really good. The song was really good. Like it sounded like the mariachi version of the Final Countdown. It's the final countdown. I don't. That's what it sounded like. That's what it sounded
hold on a
like.
second.
But I thought it was cool. All right. All right. Next up is Conan the Barbarian, number 12, CGC 9.8. This is just to me. This is just like a random high grade run fill issue. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He says it's only 8 on the census. I mean, $2,400. It's an
I
interesting
mean,
buy. I mean, 9.8, but how many? Like again, I always go back to what can I do with $2,400 and what other books can I acquire? And does it matter for me to unless this guy is trying to put together some kind of a super high grade Conan run? That's the only thing I can figure.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
There
To
are
me,
diehard guys. So
if you got the money for this, then you've bought everything else.
right, and again, he's probably some super Conan guy because if you didn't give a shit about Conan, or you wouldn't randomly spend 2,400 on a 9.8, would you?
1,000% not.
Right. So he's got to have everything Conan to go all in on a 9.8 random issue from the run. So
All right. Next is Incredible Hulk 181 CGC 8.5. So after 22 bids, this sold for $4,157. Huh. I forget what this book was going for, like at its height. I want to say what, at least I forget what this was going for, but for whatever reason, I want to say like more than 5,000, a lot more.
I would say when you say at its height, are you referring to COVID pricing?
Yes.
Then I would say if I had to take a wild guess at an 8.5, I would say somewhere between 6 and 7. I'm assuming, but it's weird because I'm such a collector of this book. I love this book. I've always have. Could be because I'm a Wolverine guy, like meaning I like how he translated into the X-Men universe from after this issue. Um, well, actually after issue 182. But you know, fuck man, 8.5, 4,000. I remember some years, I don't know how, maybe 3, 4 years before COVID. I used to be able to get 8.0s to A5 somewhere around 16 to 1,800 dollars.
Mm.
So
Mm.
it seems still high, but uh
12,750 for a 8.5 during COVID pricing. Wow. Wow.
whew.
I didn't
Yeah,
realize
see that
that.
I'm gonna be honest, if somebody threw that price at me during COVID, I would not believe I would believe them 100%, because I've seen some prices and I remember watching a lot of you guys do your shows, and
Yeah.
I remember you guys would report COVID sales. And I think somebody, I want to say back when Brian was doing Flipside, I remember the look on his face when you guys brought up a giant size X-Men #1 high grade CGC sale that went for somewhere close to 20 grand. And I just remember the look on all of your faces, just completely, all the color came out your faces, all of you. And I just remember thinking, wow, like, is this really where the hobby's going? You know?
Okay, so
But
I've got an 8.5, right? And
right.
I don't remember seeing that for 15K because I'm thinking I might have sold for that. You know what I mean?
Dude, it doesn't surprise me though. COVID was really out of control, out of pocket, bro. Really bad. I completely stopped buying anything relevant like this during COVID. Like I went back to searching for like 1990s and early 2000 books. That's why I've amassed so many keys from that era, because during COVID, I just transitioned my habits of buying into something different.
Right.
I was not going to spend 20 grand on a fucking 9.4 giant size X-Men one. It wasn't happening. In fact, I remember a sale. You might have even remembered this because I think I heard it on one of your guys' shows. Somebody reported a 9.8 sale of first Iron Fist, and it went 18 grand, something like that. And I remember when I heard that number, I almost fell out my chair. And because I have a high grade I have an 8.5, I think. But I mean, it's high grade for what for a regular Bronze Age books now.
Yeah.
And I remember when I heard that sale, I was thinking, like, what do you do? Like when the market completely went back normalized,
Yeah.
that same book I think sells for like a minuscule fraction of that price. Meaning, I think it's down to like 3 grand or 2,500 for a 9.8, because the character they did so bad with the show that it just completely killed the value of that book, as well as the market coming back normalizing.
Yeah.
So what does the guy do that spent 18 grand for that?
Uh
Besides,
just sit there and just sits on it. And it's
but there
catatonic.
is no recoup. You're not going to live long enough to see that book ever get that high again. I think collectors learned from the first pandemic. If things go fucked up again, I don't think they're going to make the same mistake twice.
No. Yeah,
So
I can't see that happen unless there's
yeah,
like a fresh crop of people that didn't know what was going on the last time.
right.
You know what I mean? It'd
Yep.
have to be like lightning hitting twice in the same spot. That's what that would be.
Yeah.
All right. Next is Vampirella #1, CGC 9.2. And this 9.2 sold for $2,995. Is that a
That it sounds justifiable because her book in mid grade gets a lot of money. I've seen, I want to say, listen, again, I'm not going by any recorded sales just off the top of my head. I could swear when I've walked around some comic shows, I've seen like a 5 or a 5.5 in the ballpark of like $800. Again, I don't know how legitimate that price is because sometimes you can come across somebody who just kind of makes up shit as they go. But sometimes I even say maybe that is right. Maybe that's the right deal for that, because it's, again, it's a magazine. Um, I don't see often, and when somebody does have it, I always do kind of focus on it. Like, I think I had one a long time ago, raw, but it was beat to shit. I found it in a magazine box probably for a few bucks,
Mm.
and I think I flipped it at a show some years ago, like long enough that it didn't matter, you know. Um, Probably in today's market, it'd probably be, you know, $200, $300 magazine in the condition I had it in.
Yeah.
So, but when 3,000 for a 9.2, it almost sounds right, you know, because it's it's kind of, you know, it's first of all, it's a legendary cover artist, and you know, the character has survived. You know, it's actually still a relevant character. She's does well with Dynamite, and I see she still has a lot of what variants and exclusives and crossovers. So it's a good purchase, I guess, for 3 grand. I don't see anything wrong with it at 9.2.
Yeah.
You know?
I still this is a book. Okay, so I remember buying this book off of my comic shop, right? It was like a probably like a 5.0 for like maybe $100 something, right? And I was looking at the condition of it, and I was just like, I don't like the condition. So I returned it.
Mm.
It never got another one. That was a fail. Anyway, we're moving on. Walking Dead #1. Oh wow, Black Label. Black
Yeah,
Label.
that's the first print.
Mm-hmm. So this
Well,
is true first print of
right.
Walking Dead #1.
It's the first one that came off the presses, and then somebody decided you can't see. I think it says mature readers.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't see it because it was in black and it kind of blended in with the cover too much. And they felt they didn't want, because of the gore and some of the language, they didn't want a kid thinking, you know, they don't want anybody thinking that a kid should buy it. So they changed it to white lettering to pop more. And I believe the entire, I'm just guessing again off the top of my head, there's somewhere upwards of 7,000 in the entire print run of #1.
Damn.
And I think they printed more of the black before they transitioned to the white lettering,
Mm-hmm.
which means there's probably less than 3,000 or 2,500 of the white lettering, which is why it's more desirable. But
Okay.
and there is absolutely no any other variations of this cover. Otherwise, there are no what do they call that? Newsstands or anything. The only thing you will find variation wise with this is foreign copies. That's about it.
Okay. All right.
So,
So this CBCS 9.8
mm.
sold for $3,249.
And when was that sale? September
September
11th.
11th. Yep.
That's to me high. For I get I don't have a beef with CBCS. I don't. I have quite a few of them. I just think if I had that on at a show, I know I'd get my balls busted that it's not CGC. That's an angle a lot of people take to try to get a better price when they're buying.
Yeah.
But it is a legendary book, man. I'm going to be honest with you. It's probably the most relevant modern day book after 2000. I think it's more relevant than even Invincible, all that stuff. Reason being is just what it started, meaning it had a successful run for 100 and what 94 issues or something like that,
Something
or
like that.
93,
Yeah.
yeah, 193 issues. It had a fantastic TV show that worked really well until they got to what season 7 or 6. Then it kind of got a little weird, you know. I think it's because they somewhat killed off Rick Grimes.
He
But like
got called away.
right, but what I'm saying is it just was so good in so many different ways for so many different reasons. I remember when that book first showed up at my LCS, and it wasn't, matter of fact, it didn't show up at my LCS. I bought it somewhere else, and my LCS did not order Walking Dead at all. And I
Mm.
remember I went to the owner of the store, who's a dear friend of mine, and I said, dude, it was already up to like issue 2, and I said, why are we not getting Walking Dead here? And he just like I don't know if I'm going to get involved with that. It's image, it's horror, meaning not horror, it's zombies, and it's all in black and white. So he just said, I don't know if it's something that's going to work for here. And then I told him, I was like, dude, this is a rock solid story right away. Great art, great storytelling. And then he bought into it, and I think he picked up on it around issue 3 or 4, and then he started carrying in the store. And then, sure enough, years later, I started busting his balls, like, "Yo, see, I told you." I said, "Walking Dead 1 was like a over $1,000 book," and but it's nothing like I said. It is probably, like I said, the most relevant modern day book in my opinion after 2000,
You know what? I'm shocked that this is still going as strong as as it is.
because it's
Like,
the only one.
mm,
Look at all the other modern day books that come out between 2000 up to today. Everybody has a billion variations of their number ones. Meaning, if like I would also say Invincible, reason why it gets so much money, because there's only one Invincible number one.
yeah.
Even though there was like a couple of renditions of it with Larry's comics and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is there was one cover of Invincible number one. And I think that has a lot to do with Robert Kirkman, because he has that in his mind that we don't need to make, you know, 5 different variations of cover one to make it work. Um, so there's, to me, between Invincible one, Walking Dead one, they only have one cover. And I think that's what makes it hold, is because there's not 5 other variants of number one existing, you know? And like I said, and how many times has this cover been homaged? You
Mm,
know,
yeah.
it just works with everything, you know, even to this day. So I still like reading it, believe it or not. I pick up a trade once in a while and I flip through it, and I still get caught up in reading maybe a couple of issues here and there.
Yeah.
So
All right. Okay, so for something like this, I would have figured like for a 9.8, probably like 2,000 maybe.
a CBCS, I would probably be all in around 1800 tops. I wouldn't
Mm,
want to cross the 2000 mark for a CBCS,
I
only
got you.
because I know if I wanted to do something with it, I would probably, like I said, I would have trouble with buyers telling me it's CBCS. And how do I know if I reslab it, I'm going to get a 9.8 again? So, which is again not my problem. I tell people, you're buying a 9.8, you know, CBCS, it's a legit company. I have both of these covers, both the white print and the black print. My white print is a 9.8 and my black print is a 9.6. So, and I bought that a long time ago. So,
Hey, if this were a PSA 9.8,
a P, oh, the today's PSA. Okay.
right?
I thought you were gonna say, when I heard P, I thought you were gonna say PGX. Because like you, I always expect when you grab a PGX slab, I feel like there's gonna be a cockroach inside the slab,
Yeah, just
or a
something. Just
fucking a chest hair or something.
something.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I can't. You gotta like when if you crack the case, you got to do it outside.
right.
You don't want
But
it.
if
You don't want that air coming into your house.
right, but if you go PSA, I would wait a while. Only because, not because I don't trust PSA, because
Mm-hmm.
PSA is a very legit company, but they're very legit with cards and prior to cards grading money.
Mm.
Um, so when it comes to books, I think we should be patient. You know, when I see guys make very critical posts about errors, I'm like, I would be patient. PSA is not an illegitimate company. They are hardcore legit. It's just gonna take them a while to transition and get all the quirky bullshit out. It's just like when you buy a new device. You know how they say don't buy the
Mm-hmm.
first smartphone, you know, wait a while until they get all the quirks out, the kinks out of the system. I think PSA is gonna be they're gonna be here to stay. There's no way they're getting into this and thinking we're just going to try. They're not going to try. They're looking to make a significant impact in this market. And I think they see that CBCS is not really a problem for them, and
Yeah.
PGX definitely isn't. And anybody else, EGS and all these other companies that somehow exist somewhere. I think PSA is going to be a legit number 2 grader within a couple of years.
Mm.
So PSA does translate to money if you're familiar with the trading card market, you know?
Okay.
And as far as labels, I'm like Mr. Longshort. I don't understand why anybody gives a shit how exciting a label looks. You should care more about what's the quality of the grading process, what's the quality of the case, what's the turnaround time, what is the expense of sending it to them. That should be the forefront of what you think about grading, not about, oh wow, the label is boring. If you're collecting for labels, then I don't know what to tell you. But PSA is going to be fun. But I just like, if somebody showed me a PSA 9.8 or a 10.0 of a Walking Dead, it'd be interesting. And maybe, like I said, I would bid on it. I definitely bid, because if it ends cheap, I feel like I've won.
Yeah.
Because I'll just tuck it away. I won't even, I wouldn't even try to flip it. I would just put it away and wait for PSA to get a respectable place in the grading world. And then you bring it back out. I don't think they're going away, Arsenal. I think they're going to be around.
I think so too. I think that
Yeah.
that card market gives them the leeway and the good standing of
Yeah.
other collectors. So
They have good foundation already, meaning, like I said, they have a respectability in a different trading market. So I think coming into comics, you just have to be patient. That's all. That's it. Just be patient.
are they doing autographs on comics?
I have not heard or
I haven't
seen
seen
a
it.
signature series. I don't think they're touching that right now, because again, you want to focus on getting the basics right,
Mm-hmm.
and which I would more appreciate. I don't want to see them trying to authenticate signatures. I don't want to see them, unless they're doing on-site witnessing, do that and come up with a label for on-site witness signing. I'm sorry.
Yep.
But don't get into verifying autographs yet, even though they can do it, because you got to remember, they've been authenticating signatures on sports trading cards for almost 2 dozen, I mean, not 2 dozen, for almost 2 decades. So it's not like they can't do it. I'm just saying I don't want to see it right now. I want to see them focus on getting grading right. That's it.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. All right. Goodwill. Goodwill is the term I wanted to use for PSA. Amazing Spider-Man 129 CGC 9.8. So this sold for $18,000. Do you like that
are you
price?
are you noticing a pattern here? Are you looking at all the sales dates of these huge sales? All September 11th?
Yeah,
Is this something, are people getting checks, or something I don't know about? Because there's a huge amount of sales, but big money on that same date.
I noticed that.
Hmm.
It's
But
just
anyway, I love this book. This is
Mhm.
I'm a huge Punisher fan, which is why you see me using a Punisher logo on my profile, or I got a nice Punisher skull tattoo, and I pretty much have everything relevant with the Punisher, like all his key books, and I love this book. I don't know if I love it for 18 grand right now, but I think it was smart for whoever sold this, because the anticipation of the Punisher being in the upcoming movie is huge. John Bernthal is a super mega, meaning he's just kills it at Punisher. So it's going to be exciting, and I think you were going to see John Bernthal be War Machine in a future Avengers or some kind of thing, because it just makes too much sense. You have to use him more, and I think I'd love to see him transition from the Punisher and then be more relevant with a super team, and throw him some War Machine armor.
Yep.
So I think something crazy happens in a future movie, and they need his help, and he's like, give me one of those armors, I'll help. And I could see him putting a Punisher skull on some War Machine armor and going at it.
I'm looking
You
forward
like,
to the circumstances
but
where he would end up in that armor in the MCU.
well, the first step is get him into he's coming into a Spider-Man movie. So let's
Hmm.
see how that translates. I mean, I kind of like Tom Holland as Spider-Man. Like, I think he's really good. His movies have been very good. And I think it also helped that they finally let Sony, work with Disney Plus to do these movies with Marvel. Um, so it's actually both franchises benefit from all of it. Um, Again, I just think it's a home run bringing Bernthal into a Spider-Man movie finally. So and actually making him and putting him in the Marvel universe on the big screen. I've been dying to
Hmm.
see it because again, and I've met the actor. He's such a fucking great guy, man. And so it makes it even more pleasurable to see the success of the show. With Daredevil, his individual Punisher show, and now on the big screen. And Bernthal is very much like Ryan Reynolds. He won't do the part unless you let it be scripted as it should be in the comics.
Ah.
He believes that Punisher should be like that Mike Zeck version, you
Oh,
know? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, like fucking vicious, and going out there and fucking dudes up and talking a certain way because that's New York and that's Frank Castle.
Hey,
So
what did you think about the Dolph Lundgren Punisher? If you saw it,
I did see it. It's goofy. I mean, goofy as far as I know. I'm comparing it to what I've already seen with other renditions of Punisher.
yeah,
Even Thomas Jane's Punisher was, but when I say goofy, it's goofy compared to what I know now. When it first happened, I was excited because again, I'm a huge Punisher guy.
yeah,
And Dolph Lundgren back then was like he was fucking Drago, like you said, oh shit, like Drago's gonna be Punisher and they did his hair in black but when you look at it now, it's kind of goofy compared to what exists, what Punisher is now on the big screen. So um I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you, I wouldn't watch it again because it just seems to be time that I can't get back.
I'm not gonna lie, I love that Punisher.
No, I do too, but I'm
I
saying I don't
love
know if
it.
I'd watch it again. That's the thing. I don't know.
I watch it again.
Uh,
Well, okay, so what I liked about Lundgren's Punisher, he looked like Will's Portacio version
yeah, but you know what
of
bothered
the
me
Punisher.
about it is that he also never donned the skull shirt, which I kind of was waiting for in the original. And when I didn't see it happen, I was like, oh, okay.
I
You got
totally
kind of like
understand that.
a no frills of Frank Castle when you don't have the skull.
Hmm.
So that's why when Marvel Comics got rid of the original skull, I was like, I don't know if I want to. First of all, I didn't want to read a comic without seeing the original, kind of Punisher.
Hmm.
And then when they started saying we're going to do away with this for whatever bullshit reason, then I was like, okay, well, now I don't need to buy anything Punisher because I don't care anymore now. When they brought it
Right.
back now, I'm like super. I even told my LCS, I was like, first of all, make sure I get those Zeks. I need Mike Zeck to do Punisher. I need to see more Mike. Yeah, I need to see more variants with Mike Zeck. It's the 1 in 50. So I made sure I got two of them.
Yeah.
And if I'm not gonna be mad if they do a second print of number one and they make a Mike Zeck sketch cover like 1 in 100.
Hmm.
I'm gonna buy that shit too. Mike Zeck, even right now, has mad skills with his pencils, and he was a super nice guy when I first met him. The guy did some amazing commission artwork for me. So like, I'm never gonna like anybody's Punisher more than I like his. So when I heard that there was going to be a 1 in 50 in the Red Band Punisher series, the first
Yeah.
issue, I was like, I'm definitely going to buy a couple of those, and hopefully they make a second print sketch cover. I would love to see a sketch cover, and I hope it also brings Mike Zeck back to the East Coast and does some shows and signings because I want to see that guy again. He's a nice guy. So,
This is
but
my
very, very excited.
this is my favorite Punisher image here. Uh, I'm trying to find. So I bought the poster of this,
Right.
and I had the T-shirt back when I
Yep.
was a kid. I had this
Mhm.
T-shirt because it was smoking. Do I have T-shirt? Let's see, T T90s. Let's take a look. Okay, so I had this exact T-shirt when I was a kid.
That image was I had the poster of that. I bought it from Tower Records.
Mm-hmm.
Tower Records in New York used to have a poster rack. to die for. They had like multiple poster racks. Like they had about 50 posters on display.
Yeah.
And when I saw this, the all black one though, it was just a poster.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought that shit. And I even went a step further. I went to some bullshit frame store, and I bought like an aluminum frame for it, like one of those bullshit black metal ones
Yeah.
with the plastic window on it. And I put that shit in a frame, and I had it on my wall for years. And yeah, it's just that's Mike Zeck, bro. That's Mike Zeck right there.
That's easily my favorite Punisher image, and I do have the poster of this image, but I want, but I think I bought it's like maybe faded just a little bit, so
Right.
I want one like that's brand spanking new. So one day. All right. What's next? All right. X-Men 50 CGC 9.6.
Jim Steranko.
So this sold for $2,700 after, what is this? After 29 bids. Okay. Do you like this book?
I love this book. I love this cover. I think Steranko is, first of all, he's one of the living legends right now. He's going to be at New York City Comic Con at Royal Collectibles booth on the main floor. For anybody looking for Steranko, they're going to be doing submissions. You know, anybody wants to get any, and they will facilitate right to CGC. I have this book double signed by him. He
Oh,
signed
nice.
in green and yellow.
Ooh.
And but it's not a high grade book. It's my personal copy.
Yeah.
I think it graded a 5.0 or 6.0. And it's what happened was I didn't want it signed in yellow, and he was telling me a story, and he had my book in front of him, and I even left a little note, and it said sign in green, and I even gave a marker, and he used a yellow marker that was sitting there. I don't know why,
Yeah.
and he signed it right in an area where the yellow kind of like you see only in a certain spot the signature, and then it blends in with the color of the background. And I got a look. I didn't know what to tell him because he's such a cool guy. Like, you know, like I was like, all right. So I started to walk to my buddy that was taking submission for
Yeah.
CG, and I told him, you know, he's the owner of the store. I was like, dude, I said, I didn't want him to sign in yellow. I wanted him to sign in green. And I said, what do I do? Like, do I tell him something, or is there a way maybe he can just go over it in green or something? So he said, I'll handle it. And he walked over to him and he just said, hey, can you sign this in green real quick? You know, and then he goes, oh, didn't I sign this already? And he goes, yeah, but you know, he didn't want it in yellow. He wanted it in green. I want to, you know, he's a friend. I want to keep him happy. So he signed it again. So I got a double sign for one price.
Nice.
And then it came back, like I said, I think a 5.0 or a 6.0. And I love it. I love his art. I think back then he was the shit. You know, he defines that era of late 60s and early 70s, you know, like that pop, you know, that pop art. You know, he kind of like, if you look at it, he kind of took some of that Kirby crackling. Like he does a lot of weird when his energy, he does all of those lines and squiggly lines and crackling energy. So he kind of took Kirby's kind of and he made it modern for what was considered modern in the 70s, I think.
He's
So
got like, to me, he has like a mix of everybody, like a mix of
right.
Kirby. He's got like a mix of Neil Adams, got a
Yep.
mix of even Ditko, even a little bit of Ditko.
And
I
the
can
cool thing
see.
about him, he wasn't afraid to redefine a character's look. Like if you notice, when he did get involved with certain drawing the covers and or interior arts for certain new titles back
Yeah.
then, he often went with a different look with costumes and coloring, and they didn't, it was like very much like Neil Adams. Neil Adams came in and they probably said, hey, we want to kind of breathe some fresh air into this character. What do we do? He said,
Mm-hmm.
well, I'll just give him new colors and new outfits and new, you know. And I think Steranko was like that guy too. Like he came in and said, I'm just going to tweak it a little bit because I like it more like this, you know? And I don't think anybody questioned him because they trusted because he was such a genius with the pencils, you know? Let him do his thing. So I like him.
Beautiful.
I like all his covers. I think and again, unfortunately, you're going to see spikes in Steranko sales only after he dies. his books still are very attainable, I think. So
Actually, yes, I do agree with that for
yeah.
sure. America INDEX. Let me see. Do I have that? Oh yeah. So I got Jim Steranko to sign this. The Captain America Index back in the day. So
Right.
that's like the coolest thing to me. All right. What is this? Detective. So this is the first Penguin cover. Detective Comics number 67. So we have a double digit Detective Comics. And this sold for $2,800 after 38 bids.
Yeah.
Uh
That
do,
seems good. That's a good price.
okay, so which one you taking? This Walking Dead number 1 or Detective Comics?
Detective Comics all day. Reason being is because you can find Walking Dead 1 on any given day of the week, any given time of the day.
Mhm.
How often are you going to run into that first that first Penguin cover in an acceptable grade? 4.0 seems to be right where it transitions from the book having some kind of significant damage on it somewhere,
Yeah.
in where it starts crossing over into mid grade, where mid grade is like very acceptable for a golden age book, like super acceptable.
I
So
like I like
yeah,
4.0s on golden and silver. I love it.
yeah,
Um okay. So we've got Giant Size X-Men number 1.
raw.
And this raw copy sold for $2,800 after 39 bids. Is this the original blue mat guy?
He's got it as a VF near mint, which is what, near mint minus or VF plus, if you want to
Yeah.
really just kind of generalize what he's trying to say there. And for somebody to give up 2,800 plus tax and shipping, it has to present really fucking well to go that high. So it looks like an acceptable, again, possibly a very acceptable sale. And the picture you're showing, it looks decent, although the bottom corner there looks a little rough, right to the left.
Yep.
You
Yeah,
see,
yeah.
yeah, it has a little something going on in that bottom corner. That square bound, you really got to be careful. But everything else looks pretty good. The edging looks good. The color looks good. Is that a scratch across the
That looks like a scratch.
yeah, across the trade? Um, but the rest looks good. What do you think that grades out at just by looking at a picture? An 8, 8.5?
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the high eights.
Yeah,
But I don't like
it actually a very clean copy. The back is acceptable. The square bound looks pretty decent from the angles I'm seeing. I mean, you're gonna lose something for that scratch across the trade, and you're gonna lose something for that bottom left corner. But I'm thinking 8.5.
so
Um,
okay, so at that price, do you like it?
Probably, yeah. Because
Okay.
I've sold quite a few of those, and I've not sold something that looked that good raw, and I've gotten some really significant money for worse copies, and I would love to have that book, and I think there's still room to make money on it in a sense. If somebody can get past the scratch across the trade, and you know, I think you
O-
could still make some money on that.
okay, so we're looking at this at a different angle. Okay. Now that scratch isn't there. So what it looks like maybe a print error where it's like how the
Like a fold,
a fold, yeah.
right?
That's
All right.
that's
So
what
if
that
it's a
looks like.
fold, then it's kind of if it gets graded, the fold, as long as it's looks like the printer did it, then
Yeah.
it'll be overlooked meaning they won't detract too much if it looks like the printer did that.
Okay.
So as long as it's not a scratch, then you're good. So it's definitely not like Bill is saying the scratch makes it a 7.0. So it's not a scratch. I'm thinking it's still 8, 8.5 because it looks pretty damn good.
You got this reader crease like right here.
I mean, obviously you'd be crazy not to run it through a really good presser before you submit it.
Yes.
So again, to me, that's like a Red Hood thing. Yeah, I would give it to a guy like him, and he'll do some magic. And I really see it may even get higher than the 8.5 if who knows. But it looks really good in these pictures.
Yes, it does.
So if that's the only problem, that bottom left corner, then you may be looking at a 9.92. Who knows?
Did I show these pictures?
They're really wild now with grading, so they may actually grade. They may actually grade that, like I said, on the higher end because they're giving away high grades now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did I show these pictures from the listing?
Yeah, I think you were looking at it yourself. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I meant
Hmm.
to. Okay, so what it looks like here. Okay, so look at it from a different angle. That scratch is gone. You see?
Yeah. Okay. Well, page quality looks good too when you showed the pictures open. But again, I think that book has potential and value because of how good it looks. I think it grades out nice, and you definitely have to put it in the hands of a legit hardcore pressure who's really good at his job.
I tell you what. So I had a Marvel Superheroes 13 that looked worse than this, and that got a 9. So that'll probably be a 9. I think.
But again, it still matters if that's not like somebody maybe accidentally opening that up from a box or something like a scratch in the
Mm-hmm.
color. As long as that's not a scratch through the cover, which means it is going to get hit. But if that's just like some kind of a printing fold, like you said it is, then there's a higher great potential grade
Yeah.
there. But I'm not going to speculate too much. Again, it's like, apparently whoever bought, because when you look at it from that upside angle, it's not white anymore. It's like red,
Mm-hmm.
which leads me to believe, like you said, it's some kind of a printer fold, like when it
Yeah.
came out the machine.
I wouldn't be surprised if it got a 9.
Mm.
All right. Next up, speaking of 9s, we got a 9.0 Amazing Spider-Man annual number 1 from 1964. And this sold for what?
10,500.
10,005. Wow, that's strong. That is hella strong. Damn. Are you okay? So are you in it for that price in that
Me,
grade?
me personally, no. But um, it's first Sinister Six. It is annual number 1. Um, that's an insane grade for that book. That's another book. It's a square bound.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I do remember that I've seen low grades. When I say low, I'm talking 4 or 5s, 4 and 5s, get some well over the 1,000 mark. So I'm like, I don't know, it's possible. I mean, but that's a collector price. That's not like a dealer buying it saying, "Oh, I think I can make some money on it."
Yeah.
That's a collector buying that. I'm
There
not
is
in it for 10.5 because I can't do anything with it. I have a great copy. I have a 6.0. But I'm good at 6. I'm not going any.
there's no meat on the bone.
No, not
This
for
is
not for a guy selling. No.
right.
Collector, I can see a collector being very happy with that.
All right. Next is 30 Days of Night from 2002. So this
Awesome
night,
book.
I was really surprised by this. So this 9.8 sold for $850.
Doesn't surprise me.
Really?
First of all, I don't know. Have you ever read the series? I mean, the first series.
Yes.
It is it's super well written, and there's a reason why. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm a big fan of the first movie. The movie. I love horror movies. I love horror books. It's a really good read when it first came out. Great art. I love the darkness of it. I love the darkness of the movie. Um, and it's not an easy book to find, bro. It really isn't. I almost never go to. Again, this is another book. I don't ever see first prints on a wall in a box. I'm sure there's some on eBay. I haven't. I don't have a reason to look for it because I do have I think I have a 9.6, and it's signed by Steve Niles.
Okay.
And it's remarked by him too. It has a little, like a vampire or whatever, like it has a little head sketch on it.
Yeah.
But so I'm not really like, I wouldn't be in the market looking for a 9.8, because why,
Exactly.
But it is a really good book. So I kind of say 850 is kind of like legit to me. But again, I've read it and I really have a passion for it. I think it's a really good, again, like if they made a movie now, I'd be all into the movie, because they
Mm.
have such a great material to pull from. All of the dark all of the 30 Days of Night books are really pretty decent reads. I've not picked up really a bad one. Um,
Okay.
so
All right. All right. So next is Little Giant Comics from 1938, Centaur Publications. So this is
1938. Wow.
yes. So this sold for $1,196.
Hmm.
I'm interested in this.
Yeah. It looks almost like a book that should have came out maybe in the 70s or something. I don't know.
I
It looks
know
too I
it's got
guess
that vibe.
the pink cover and then the trade being yellow and blue, it kind of like it pops like a newer book,
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't expect a book from 1938 to have this
To
color
look like
scheme.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I don't know anything about it. Never seen it before, first time.
Yeah, me neither.
So interesting. But let me ask you, if you saw that sitting, because that doesn't, obviously you can't put that on a wall, but if you saw that, those little display cases that open up from the table, right? If you saw that in somebody's flat display case on the table and you look down, would that catch your eye, not knowing anything about it?
Hmm.
Like, would you assume that's a 1938 book,
No,
or would you just
I would swear it was from the 70s and
right?
I'd
And then
pass it up.
you would just kind of gloss over it. You wouldn't even focus unless the guy's smart and puts a sign that says 1938. Then you would
Yes.
say, "Hey, can I see that?"
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, what did it sell for? Over 1,000?
Yep, it sold for 1,000 one oh, $1,196.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good price. All right, next is G.I. Joe, a real American hero, number 249. This is the Yesteryear Comics Mercado variant. I like this book. What, $29? $30. I got to catch these Yesteryear variants when they pop up on eBay,
Right.
because sometimes they get like they'll go for like hundreds, and then you'll see like multiple listings for
Hmm.
that have already sold for like $30. So I want to find this one.
All right.
I like this cover. It's featuring Zorana, but I like
I
this.
met I met the voice actor who did her voice in the GI Joe animated series, like the
Really?
original. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was in FarleyCon when I was working with Mark Spears.
Uh-huh.
And when he went on his break, I walked the showroom floor and they had a theme going on at the show where they had all the voice actors from the most relevant like 1980s
Mm-hmm.
cartoons. And they had a lot of people from G.I. Joe. And I don't know if I, no, I'm not even going to try to find it now. But, Spears, I think Big Clutch did a variant with Mark Spears where it's
Yes.
it's it's Zartan and the Dreadnoks, and it's a beautiful, beautiful cover, and I love it. But
Things sold
when
out
I
like that.
right, but when I was in the show, Larry Hama was sitting right next to Mark
Mm.
Spears, so I already
Mm.
had it in my head. All right, I'm gonna get Spears to sign that book. I'm gonna get Hama to sign that book. But then I started walking around, and I said, you know what? How cool would it be to get the sister's voice act? The the voice actor for the sister to
Mm-hmm.
sign the book as well, because there is some relevance there, meaning
Yeah.
she has an attachment to the character. So when she signed it in pink, and I told her just put like a little pink heart to kind of womanize the signature, a little bit more, and then
Ah,
go with the pink signature for the hair, because she sported pink hair. So it was cool. It was cool seeing all those people up close because I was like, I watched all of you guys talk for a good portion of my childhood. So
that's awesome. I like
yeah,
that.
it is. It is. Yeah.
Damn.
Even Storm Shadow's voice was there. I don't know the guy. I can't give you his name.
Really?
Yeah,
Storm
yeah.
Shadow's voice.
Yeah. He had all these interesting photos of Storm Shadow from the
Yeah.
show, from the cartoon, and he's like he signs, whatever, you bring comics to him or whatever. But he's a very serious dude. Like I was kind of hoping he'd be a little easy to talk to, but he seemed like like a very serious dude. So I was like, I didn't spend too much time talking to him.
Was
But
it like was he standoffish or just
he just looked like you're like I don't know. He just looked like because I saw some people approach him and they were excited, and he didn't seem like his face just he had that resting bitch face going,
ah?
and I was just kind of like, and but I think the chick's name that does the voice for Zartan's sister, what's her name, Zorana?
Yep, Zorana.
Yeah, all right. I think her name is Lisa Ruggiero. I think her name is, but she was a sweetheart, and she flew back with me to New York because she's from New York. And so we were kind of like talking in the airport, and she was really nice. And I was like, I had a lot of fun meeting her. And I was just like, thank God I got her signature on the book because it was a good meeting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was kind of cool that she signed exactly the way I wanted it. But he was the Storm Shadow guy was I looked at him, I was like, all right, I'm not gonna even try to talk to him.
Which guy? Was it this one?
It's the first guy, Keone Young.
Yeah.
Yeah, him. He was not smiling all day.
Wow.
Not even not even a crack. He was just like even when he met Mark Spears, because Mark Spears was a bit of a fan of Real American Hero, like
Yeah.
we were, with the show. And he went over and I think they did like a mutual exchange of some books and signatures because he was like, I'm gonna give you some books, some of the G.I. Joe variants that he did. And he said, and we'll do like an exchange where you give me something signed, I give you something signed. And they were cool about it. It was very cool, to see that. But again, he just didn't have a welcoming face. So I was like, I'm not even going to try to talk to this guy.
I got you.
Yeah. There was never like he's smiling in these pictures here. There was no fucking smile on his face the entire show. So I don't know if he was annoyed about something or that's just him. So, but I
All
also
right.
met Sergeant Slaughter at that show. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So, Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah, which was cool too because he crosses a couple of genres, which is wrestling for us when we were kids, and also the GI Joe, the comic book. So, guy, let's go on because we could talk all day about
I could
ranking all
definitely
these
talk.
cartoons.
Listen, I could definitely
Uh,
talk GI Joe.
yeah,
All right. What's next? Another Venom Lethal Protector, but this is the regular gold edition CGC 98 sold for $1,025 after 7 bids. I
this
was just
book
kind of
is
interested.
is on an uptick, so I've seen raw copies get some significant money. So it doesn't surprise me this broke 1,000 in a 9.8.
I resent CGC giving me a 9.6.
Because you looked at it before you sent it in and you figured a
You know
lot, right?
what? Okay. So my thing was this and Spidey 238 with the tattoos, right?
Right.
I send both those in, but I send them into was it CCS for pressing?
Yeah,
Is it-
that's CGC's guys, right?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
So I get the note back from both of those saying, "Oh, we can't press these because one is like cardstock gold foil, and the other one has the coupon has the tattoo insert." And I know that they are 9.8s, but I just figured, let's get them.
Was it,
Maybe
it it wasn't signed, right?
no, neither of them were signed.
Not for nothing. Again, I would definitely put that in the hands. And I keep saying Red Hood because for me, Red Hood he's done magic with all of my submissions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying I've worked with some other pressers and they're good. You know what I mean? But Red Hood so far for me has been I'm batting, 980 with him, not even
Okay.
500. I'm doing, and if you give that to a guy like him, he'll probably discover that there's some fingerprints somewhere that detracts from the grading process. I guarantee you it's something that's completely naked to the eye, but he'll find it and he'll fix it. And you can press cardstock and foil. You can press that Spider-Man book with the tattoo, postcard attached to it. When you give to the right presser, from what I'm hearing from certain guys, there's just a way you have to balance out, when you're actually doing the pressing process, putting something around that card that levels, the actual page inside, when you're actually pressing. So you're
Yeah.
not getting that compression on the cover or anything like that. Again, I don't know shit about pressings, but I do remember somebody telling me there's some certain ways that they play with those and they get it right. But I guarantee if you give that, you're gonna get a 9.8. I would resubmit that, bro, because there's a huge difference between 9.6 and a 9.8.
Yeah, but yeah, just because they didn't press it, and
Right.
that's why I got the 9.6. You know what I
Yeah, I
mean?
wouldn't. I wouldn't deal with. I would give it to a legit presser, like I said, like Hood or somebody like him, and let them directly submit. And I guarantee you, can you imagine if you got a 9.9 instead of a 9.8 with CGC for that?
Yeah.
Or send it to PSA. PSA will give you a 10. You get a gold label 10. Yeah. So why
But
not, right?
which one do you like better? This Green Lantern 76 9.0 that sold for $1,126 after
Right.
14 bids, or the Venom Lethal Protector 1 in the 9.8 gold?
It's a tough one, but I would probably first I'm gonna be honest, I would first look at what's the census on that Green Lantern book for grading.
Mm-hmm.
What is the likeliness of, like, what is the average between getting an 8.5 or a 9.2? I would look those all up. How many are on the census? And if it seems like there's a lot, then I'd probably go with the gold foil Venom. Only because I think the gold foil Venom, there's got to be some respect on it because it's never really completely fallen off. It's always maintained. I mean, Bagley's not the greatest artist in the world. He just happened to nail a fantastic cover for Venom. Um, and of course, the limitness of a gold foil, helps it because they went from what, red to gold, and of course all the defects, which is black and then white. Um, I don't know. I guess if the census is low on that high grade for Green Lantern, I would always go with the vintage book.
Okay.
Because it's less likely to come across another 9.0 than it is a 9.8 Venom. I think there's more chances. I'm imagining there's probably over 1,000 Venom 1 lethal protectors on the census easily. Now,
Yeah.
how many gold? I don't know, but that red one, like I have two 9.8s red. One is a newsstand signed by Bagley and Stan Lee, and another one is just a basic blue label red. And I think on any given day I can find or even find a roll one and get a 9.8 on one because they're out there on red copies.
Mm-hmm.
So I would probably go with the 9.0 Green Lantern.
Okay. All right. Next is Journey into Mystery 85, first Loki. Okay, so this CGC 5.5 sold for $2,551 after 33 bids. I don't know. Does that seem low to you for the first Loki in a
It
5.5?
does, because it's not just a first Loki, it's a very early Thor, and then it's mid-grade. I don't know, first Loki, and then everything with Loki, there's so many reasons for it to be. Loki's always been the main villain of Thor, no matter who comes across him. Loki, at the end of the day,
Yeah.
although they don't really go back to that anymore now, like Thor's had to deal with so many other different versions of villains now. It just seems like you don't really see Loki anymore, not even in modern Thor. Like Thor's always dealing with somebody else now. But back then Loki was the guy. He was the only guy for what, 2, 3 decades
Mm-hmm.
versus Thor. So he's kind of like Loki is to Thor as Doctor Doom is to Fantastic Four. You know, he's the main
Exactly.
protagonist. So 2,500 for a 5.5. I don't know. You know, I have a 4.0 signed by Stan Lee. So I like that price because to me it makes me feel like my 4.0 sign is worth some good money. So,
I got you.
you know.
But I don't know. Feels low to me. All right. Nightwing number 112, Dan Mora variant. This sold for $64. I like okay, so in my last haul video, I was talking about the Red Hood and the Outlaws and these Nightwing variants, these cardstock variants selling
Mhm.
for a little something something. And yeah, I've just been kind of keeping tabs on sales for these,
Mhm.
and I was just interested by it. Nothing more to it than that, really.
Mm.
But we're not done talking about these covers here anyway. But
Okay.
next is Guardians of the Galaxy number 4, the J. Scott Campbell 1 in 50. So this sold for $200. Do
2013.
you have this?
I might because it just looks like something I might have gotten from a box and bought. I definitely didn't pay 200. I think if I do own that, I think I probably would have been in it for about 30 to $50.
Hmm.
But that's just a guess. But I think I do have it. I'm pretty sure I do.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure mine is not as nice. You know, it's not a grade worthy 9.8. It's probably a 9.4 because I do
Yeah.
remember um if I'm thinking it's the same one, it probably has a nice nasty tick right by where the top left corner is by the Marvel logo. And 200 is oof, you know. But do you notice that 2012 like books from 2010 to 2013, they're like they get a lot of money, man. Like I'm wondering if books were just a little bit low printed back then.
Yeah, there's something about books from that time period. I know
Yeah,
exactly what you mean.
because when you and Ben start talking about some of these big sales for like particularly Marvel books that dropped between 2010 and 2013, I noticed that they get a little something extra, you know.
Hmm.
So maybe there was a little like a little bit of a low printing of that era during that period of time because it's true you don't really see them just in any box, you know.
That's yeah.
Uh,
I've actively been on the hunt for this, and I
mm,
never see it. All right. Next is The Perfect Crime, number 31. It's just now this sold for what, $89 after 23 bids. But I just wanted to take a quick look at this. I like this cover.
yeah,
Come
it's
on,
a
baby.
and he's got a glass in his hand that probably has something in it.
Rubbed out.
Yeah, so apparently the person they took out, his ghost is staring through you know, like he's
Yeah.
in the image because he still has some blood from a scar on his face. So that's possibly he said he rubbed them out and oh wait a minute. So maybe that's not a ghost. Maybe the guy they thought they got rid of him and he's walking in the room and while he's trying to toast, the guy's like right behind him with a
Yeah.
gun.
Okay, so yeah, he's pretty disheveled. You see his
Yeah, he's a little beat up. So they probably
yeah.
thought they got rid of him and then he probably snapped out of it, woke up, picked up a revolver and is gonna fucking whack both of them now.
I want to see this story now. I want to read
She's
this now.
yo dude, she's kind of hot. Did you see the body of her under that
Yeah,
dress?
look at that. She got it.
Oh yeah, and she's got the whole little belly button poking through the dress. That's how
Hmm.
tight it is.
That's what's
Yeah,
up. I'm not mad at this.
yeah, I get it.
I'm not mad. That's a good cover.
Yeah,
These Perfect Crimes, like all of them have great covers though. All right. Next is
they're
ooh. Okay,
they're
so
they're definitely fun to find. I tell you that.
mhm.
I like finding them. Go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
No, no, no. I've got one Perfect Crime, and that thing is beat. I'm afraid to handle it. So I know what you mean. Baby got abs. Yes, sir. All right. Next is Red Hood Outlaw number 36 from 2019. So this is another. Okay, so in the haul video that I did a couple weeks ago,
Right.
so this book is in the thumbnail, and I was able to find this for like $5 somewhere,
Mhm.
and I was interested in what this thing was selling for. So this sold for $54.99.
That's that's a significant number for a book that I could swear. Now see, now I have to go digging in my LCS because I think I've seen this in his 5 for 20 box.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why is because I want to say David Finch did some what's that guy's name? Who's the guy that looks like Deathstroke? Deathstroke. He did some Deathstroke versus Red Hood covers that were really
Mm.
cool. And I got it in my head one day that I was trying to look for some David Finch covers from that series,
Yeah.
and he did some really cool covers. And I remember, I think while I was flipping through it, I do remember thinking I seen this cover. So now I got to go. I got to go back over there and see if I find it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I do, I wouldn't mind buying 5 books for 20 just to grab it, or just grab it independently and pay $4 for it.
This is a great Red Hood cover.
Yeah, it is. It's well done. And he kind of looks like Winter Soldier there. Remember, because Winter Soldier wears that piece when
Yeah. Yep.
he's not, when he's being in full costume,
Yeah, in the MCU. Yep.
Yeah. In the movie, I meant, yeah, the movie. Bucky.
But that looks
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it is. It is.
And it's good to see it selling for what, $55. I'm not mad at that. Okay, now these two books here, or rather these two sales, so you got Red Hood Outlaw number 33, and I think these are just like regular cover A's, and I'm still trying to put my finger on as to why these are going for like $30. I'm still trying to figure that out.
Well, the guy says what? Hard to find first printing. Did it go into multiple prints?
No,
So why does he say first? Why is he emphasizing first printing?
I know.
And then also he's saying hard to find. Is it the same seller? No, it's two different
No,
sellers.
different sellers. So one
Ah.
sold on. So one sold on the 12th, and the other one sold September 14th.
What's today's date? But off the top of your head, what's today's date? Because I don't.
It's the 14th.
All right, so I'm wondering, do you think there's an uptick in Red Hood books because of the bullshit that happened with that writer?
I know. No, this has been going on.
Oh, this is going on for a little while then. Okay.
Yeah, well before any of that.
Because I'm going to be honest, I don't collect too much DC, and I'm not really into Red Hood at all. Not that I don't like the look of the character, but yeah. So it surprises me that this is a $30 book.
I'm not mad at it, but
Somebody's saying Perillo has a variant from this issue, 33.
I believe. I think. Yeah. There's definitely a variant for this,
Right.
but I forget what it looked like. But I was just curious.
$30 is it's healthy for a book that I don't know shit about. And
I know, right?
it looks like I said, no 2019 is not that old of a book.
I know. But I'm not mad at it though. All right. Next, I was really surprised by this price here. So the Aliens number 1, from 88. So this CGC 98 sold for $2,500.
Wow,
I'm shocked by that.
that's a lot.
I did not too much to say about it, but I just figured that price was worth talking about. Was worth touching on.
Yeah, that
Damn.
is. It's.
All right. Next is Amazing Spider-Man 10, CGC 9.8, sold for $400. So this is the first Spider-Punk.
Mm-hmm. That's also part of like I think 5 issues of connecting covers. I think.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
I think it starts with 10, or rather, yeah, it starts with number 9
Right.
and goes to like I don't know 14 or something like that.
And Delato was a beast during that era. Like his art was really intense. Like meaning
Hmm.
it just everything looked good that he did. And if I'm not mistaken, doesn't this transition also into a connecting cover with villains? Is it just all the Spider Verses, or does it continue into now a bunch of villains kind of like gathering for a big fight as well?
Just Spidey's.
Is it just Spidey's? Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Maybe I'm
But
confusing it with another Spider-Man connecting covers thing where
mhm.
it seems like a whole bunch of different villains done like this were in connecting covers. All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Um, not too much to say about it. I was just interested in seeing what this thing was going for.
Mhm.
This 9.8.
I
But
I have this book and I have the Lamole, which is looks way better than the American version because
really,
yeah, they made all of the Spider-Man characters out of a glossy finish, and then the rest of the back art is like regular. So
oh,
it pops differently off the cover, and it's a virgin. It's not doesn't have a trade on top, so you don't have that fucked up barcode, and you don't have all that writing on top. So it's a virgin, and then they did some special effects to the characters off the back cover.
okay.
Same exact art though. Same cover, same everything. Just no trade, no barcodes, and that little difference. And it's also cardstock. I believe this is like regular paper cover.
Yes,
Yeah.
I want to
So
see this book go up in value.
yeah.
All right. Next is Avengers versus X-Men number 6. 1 in 100 Bradshaw variant featuring the Scarlet Witch. So this sold for, let's just say, $56. Not too much to say, but I don't know. I like this cover, so I figured I'd throw it on.
It's a cool one to cover.
Yeah,
I
not
thought it
mad
was
at it.
Adam Hughes the first time I saw it
Oh,
because
really?
I think I saw it flipping through a box
Mm-hmm.
and I stopped because I thought it was Adam, not Adam Hughes. I'm sorry, Art Adams.
Okay, yeah.
And I started to pull it out, and then when I saw it was Art Adams, I put it back.
Ah,
But it came back to me again because somebody sold me a very small collection of like books from this era, and a lot of these Avengers versus X-Men were in there, and all the variants. Because there's a boatload of variants for each issue.
so many freaking variants,
Yeah,
man.
there's like a black and white version of this. There's also different cover artists that did different things. So there's a lot of variants to the Avengers versus X-Men.
All right.
Mm.
All right. So I guess I wasn't going to talk about Mark Spears Monsters on this show, but I
Right.
came across these sales here. I thought it was interesting. So we got the Bridezilla variant. 9.8 sold for $271 after 17 bids today.
Which is considered low for that because previous sales, I want to say, were between 350 and 400 at one point. So
Mm-hmm.
it could be, I think, again, this is not a good time to put this type of book for auction
Mm-hmm.
because of the bags. I think a lot of people are putting their money into bags right now. So it's like the hardcore collectors of monsters are legit ordering, like most of the guys I talk to are legit ordering anything between 50 bags as high as 1,000. So I think as far as the hardcore monsters collector, I think I would not put anything at auction right now
Okay.
because the guys that would buy this are putting a boatload of money into the bags.
Ooh.
So it's kind of a weird time to kind of like try to run one of these at auction, but seems low. I probably would definitely be, even if I don't need it because I have a bunch of these in 9.8, but I would definitely tap it at 285, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
But look at this. Another auction that ended from a different seller for the cover A number 1. Look at that.
Right. That's
9
raw.
bids, $410.
Cover A has now become the main the one to get. You know, as far as it look apparently according to collectors now. They're all focusing on cover A because everywhere I set up now, anybody that hits me up about monsters, do you have a cover A? That's all they ask me. So
Go figure. Go freaking figure.
it's a cool cover though.
Oh, yeah.
It really is. It represents all of the main characters on one cover. And if you want to associate it to a hip hop like I do, I associate it with the NWA album cover where they're all looking down at you and Eazy-E's pointing the gun down, that looking down perspective. It to me it's a badass cover, bro.
And look at the 9.8.
Yeah.
Buy it now, best offer, and it went for $900.
Yeah,
it
was up for $1,000 and the guy took 900. That's still it's an aggressive price, but I don't think I don't know. I can't tell people how to spend money, and you gotta remember, I'm a huge fan of Mark Spears Monsters. I like to see that they're selling for that much.
Yeah,
but would I be back into it? No, not for
even
if I didn't have one, I don't know if I'd be back into it for $1,000. I'm not sure. I might have to just sadly watch that boat drift away.
I know, right?
But hey, I'm happy. I'm glad, it makes me feel good, So
all right. Next is DC Comics Presents number 47. First He-Man in comics. So this sold for $237.50 after 16 bids. Raw.
that's it's got to be the movie, right?
Oh man,
they're making a live action movie. I mean, could that be pushing it a little?
I can't imagine. You know what? I haven't heard anything about that. Like, there's no promos. I saw like maybe a couple of like shots from when they were filming. That's it.
Are you a Motu guy? Like, are you into Masters of the Universe at all on any level, toys or anything?
Transformers, G.I. Joe, Masters of the Universe. That's my trinity right there.
Because I was gonna say, I think for a hardcore Masters of the Universe guy or Motu, I would say that would be. You gotta remember, they're the ones that are paying attention to what's going on with live action movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not. I'm just gonna, when it comes out, when a trailer hits or something, but I'm not gonna like start reading articles or see where the progress is. So I'm guessing a hardcore fan base of Motu is probably wanting that first He-Man, and
yeah.
So
all right, X Babies. This is a variant I don't see ever.
Yes, I know. Hard, and then that one is legit hard to find. It
So
really
this
is.
So they say this is a 1 in 25 Ramos variant, and this sold for $69.
Yep.
And I think the original price on it was best offer from $89.
Yeah, super tough, man. I have a lot of Aches Baby stuff because I think that's like early Scotty Young stuff, right? With the babies. Am I wrong with that? Didn't he do some covers for Aches Babies?
Yes.
So I think it was like his first delving into doing baby versions of the heroes, and so that's why I would normally be looking for that stuff, and I never see this cover. I'm not saying it's a ghost, but I've only seen it on shows like this. I don't see it in the wild.
Exactly. I know I've never seen this thing in the wild. So okay, would you have bought it for $69?
Not on eBay. If I saw it in a show and it was high grade, I'd probably be into it for 60. I don't know if I want to go into 70 and higher, but because I know I just don't see it, and if it was high grade, and again, I wouldn't be even trying to submit it for grading. I would just say I have a high grade raw copy. I'm fine with that. I'd probably be into it for $60.
All right.
Yeah.
Next is Punisher number 2. We've talked about this book probably like I want to say like a month or two ago,
Yep.
and I think oh shoot, I forget how much. I think we were talking about a 9.8, and it was selling for like some high amount. But
Mhm.
we got this raw copy of Punisher #2 from I want to say 2015, 2016 maybe.
Right.
But this raw copy sold for or for 389
84.
384 after 20 bids.
Yeah, it's
Not
a
too
badass cover, bro. It really
great
is.
cover. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that this book hasn't, because it's always been hot. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I've been searching for
I
this for close to,
You
I
don't
want to
have a
say,
copy at
no,
all? No?
nope,
Mm.
not at all.
Um, I think when you guys were talking about it, it was a 9.8 CGC sale.
I believe.
And
I
I think
believe.
the sale was between 880 or 9. And you guys were saying,
Mm,
how do you feel about that price? And I was saying in my head, because I was actually watching the show, I don't know if it should be $1,000 book, but I do have a 9.6 of this. And when I did find it, for me, like I said, it felt like a huge accomplishment because I was looking. I mean, like I said, I'm a huge Punisher guy,
yeah,
and finding this cover really made me feel like I did something. You know
I
what I mean?
got
Like
you.
and I was just like, I was trying to see in the case if there's a way, maybe cracking, press, clean, and resubmitting. Maybe if I have time to fuck with it one day, maybe I will try that. But I'm happy with my 9.6, bro. And I didn't pay, outrageous prices. I got it for a very legit deal. So, yeah.
Love this cover.
Yeah.
Got to find it. All right, we're in the pulp hour now. Okay, so we've got Real French Papers. No, Real French Capers, #4. So this is from 1935, and it's what is this? CBCS. So this sold for $850. Real French Capers. Let me see. I want to see what's going on with this.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what is she wearing? It looks like, is she
The
like supposed to be a firefighter?
Yeah, she's carrying
A
a
bucket of
water
water?
pail, yeah, and
Yeah.
like a little toy uh
And
fire engine.
she's covering her crotch with a fire logo,
Yes.
like that shield. Yeah.
The naughty bits are covering the naughty bits are being covered by the ribbon.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not
It's a
mad at
cool cover.
this.
Yeah, it's a cool cover.
Cover is detached.
Remember we were talking about the last time we did where I was on your show and I was telling you that if these covers were attached, it would be so much more, like
Yeah.
that grade, first of all, wouldn't be a 2.5 if it was originally attached. It would probably be a couple of points higher and it would go for so much more. Like uh pulp is so underrated. But again, it all boils down to the cover because there's no art inside to be fascinated about.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about the painted cover.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I wonder if this is a long story short worthy book.
Yeah, I think it is. I can
Uh,
kind of see Ben liking this.
all right, what's next? Spicy Adventure Story, September 1935. So this is a
There's a lot going on there.
yeah, so it looks like it's a purple label.
Yeah, if I had to guess without even use zooming, it probably has to do with glue or trimming
Let's see.
because pulp is its biggest problems are trimmed and glue.
Ah, jeez. Okay. Oh, jeez.
Because
Okay.
guaranteed it's a hardcore squared bound.
Yeah,
And so if it's not glue, it's trimming. So
I see. Um, Slight restoration, small amount of color touch.
okay,
Okay.
That's it. And it's 1935, man. Oof. That is a 90-year-old book you're looking at.
Hell yeah.
Mm.
I got a 90-year-old book.
And what grade is it? Is that a slab? Yeah, it is. No?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Yep.
Hey, dude, I didn't I show you last time we did the show my starting stories, the first Schomburg, and it's a
Yeah.
4.0, and I told you I'm completely excited about owning it. When I saw the purple label, I'm like, I'm fine with that. I am not looking for like I don't feel like I've had somebody bring me a 5.0 at my
Uh-huh.
booth to sell, but he wanted like legit hardcore money for it. And I'm just like, dude, I have a 4.0. So
All right. What's next? Dime Detective Magazine, May 1934. So this sold for $100. I'm gonna take a look at this. If do I have the listing? Yes.
34.
1934. I love covers this old. Looks like a bondage cover. This thing is kind of rough though. Look at that.
Oof, dude got his ass whipped. There's bondage going on. There's guys in hoods. Is that a demon or devil behind her?
Yes, that's a devil behind her.
So it's a devil cover, yeah. And he's missing a piece somewhere because the open cover shows a chunk missing.
Damn.
See?
Even then, this condition sold for $100.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Holy shit.
Beautiful. All right. What's next? Tattletales. 1935. Not too much to say about it, really. It's just, risque. Risque.
Yeah. I can actually see somebody remaking this cover today. Like a Catwoman cover or somebody, cool that they can just redo it and put that character in that same position.
That's not bad. That's
Anywhere
not
you
bad at
have to
all.
use that old phone, they can just put it with a cell phone. Same
Yeah.
pose though. Yeah.
Okay, so the cell phone image will be of Spider-Man, right?
Mm.
Right where
Mhm.
that red telephone is.
Mhm.
We're just spitballing ideas. So this 5.0 sold for $200 from 1935. So I like this image. I like this cover a lot.
Yep.
All right. Northwest Romances. Number
Never heard of it.
47. Yeah, me neither. So a CGC 5.5 sold for $85. Okay, what's next?
I can't say whether that's cheap or not because I don't know anything about that book. So
I know. I'm kind of like, All right. What is this? Double Action Gang magazine, February 1938. So this is like a couple months before the Golden Age.
Mhm.
Okay, so this sold for 95. I want to take a look at this one. Shoot. Double. I know I have the listing for this. Okay, here it is. This thing is beat though. But it's a good cover though. Oh jeez. They're not helping. But yeah, you can see can you see the images?
Yeah.
And how beat it is?
It's beat up. It's missing pieces. It looks badly stained into certain places, but the cover itself is fucking interesting because she apparently stabbed the shit out of him, and she's trying to shove the knife back in her little
Yeah.
stocking there.
Such a great cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, sold for $99. 95. But yeah, this is
As far as pulps go, because I do like to snag a pulp. when I see them. I don't think I'd be into this for $100 or $95. I'd probably like it at around 50.
In this
Just
condition.
because of condition for me mostly, but it's not exciting enough for me to go. Would you go $100 into that as
No,
is?
no,
Yeah, so
it's too rough for me.
right. I would have to be at half that price to even think about it.
But I like
So
the dangerous, beautiful woman.
mm. I still find pulps for $10. So
Yeah.
and if I show you, I did pick up two pulps. So when we finish doing what you're doing, if you want to show a couple of books, I do have a couple of pulps I didn't show you yet. So
Are
I-
are they at hand?
yeah, right here. I
Let's
can
take
show
a
you
look.
real quick. Yeah.
Hold on.
That's $10,
Oh wow.
and this is 1939 square bound. It does have a piece of square bound missing on the bottom, but the cover is attached.
No, for $10.
Yeah, $10, and it's got a little something going on there. Like I know we like to imagine what he's whispering in
Yeah.
our ear, but for $10, I couldn't leave that in the box. And then this one, I want to say you guys talked about this. I feel like I've seen this on either Ben or you. I don't know why either. Like I grabbed it because it was also $10 and I didn't pay 10, I paid 5. Because after deductions for buying multiple books, it came out to $5.
Um, I don't think we've talked about this, but it does look like it looks like
I don't know.
something along the lines of
Right. Maybe
what
there's
we
a cover
talked
that
about.
looks like it, right?
Yeah.
That you guys mentioned one day.
What year is that?
This is, I think I looked this one up. This one is, shit. I think this is like 1940 something, 44 or something.
Okay.
So it's number 4, volume 30, and C.D. Williams is the cover painter. But
That
you could
looks
see the
like
back. My guy
yeah.
had $10 on it, and after like I said, some kind of a discount, I paid 5. So I said, "Fuck it, I'll take it."
That looks like it's from the 20s for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's not. It's not that far back.
Okay.
It's like I said, I did look it up. I think it's like 19. You know what? I'm sorry, not 19. Probably somewhere like 1940 or something. Not 44.
Okay.
40. Yeah.
That would make more
So
sense.
yeah. But that
All
was
right.
the two pulps that I snagged when I think like 2 days ago. So
All right. Amazing stories. What is this? So this is like early. So this is 1920 August 1928. This is probably one of the most famous pulps.
Mhm.
The CGC 7.0 sold for 10,900. Amazing stories. I know this is like probably I would say this is probably a grail probably a grail pulp.
I have maybe 3 amazing stories. One is a slab purple label, and it's a really dark cover because it's like I want to say it's either aliens checking in on a guy who they probably zapped and he's like knocked down on the ground. But
Yeah.
it's an intense cover. I'll find it for you another day and show it to you. It's pretty interesting to cover. But
Oh, first appearance of Buck Rogers.
yeah, I was gonna say I thought that was something first appearance because I'm seeing there's a lot of wording on the label. And when I
Mm-hmm.
see this guy, I'm like, there's got to be something to that character. He's probably somebody they've used in TV or movie, and it's there you go, Buck Rogers.
Hell yeah.
What is that, a 7.0? And what did it sell for? 10 grand?
Yep.
Ooh.
Actually, it came from my comic shop, so it probably sold for less.
10,000. Well, it shows that that's the best offer price accepted, on at least what it appears to be.
Their store, like when you buy it from their store, it automatically connects to eBay and then takes
Oh,
it
okay.
off.
All
So
right. All right.
and they offer it cheaper on the
Right.
site. So
Okay. All right.
I mean it's in that vein. But
Well, let me
as
ask
far
you
as
a
the price,
question. Where would you want to be if you saw this? Let's say you have 8 grand to burn. What would you offer on this if
oh
you cared?
geez, oh
Do you
geez,
or do you care?
I'm thinking. Uh,
You got to remember, first Buck Rogers,
yeah.
which is not equivalent to first Conan, but it's in that ballpark. Because I know the first Conan gets some really crazy money.
I would say four,
Okay,
four or
four.
five, because I really need I need meat on the bone.
This cover is cool. I mean, I love the way that trade starts off large and then dissipates into the air. And I love the yellow with the red, you know. It's really cool. It's a cool cover.
Well, it's I mean, it's from the 20s. You know what I mean? And it has that.
Well,
It's got.
Buck Rogers was a big radio show, I think, back then.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't, this was the only look they had at a Buck Rogers.
This has a very This has that, like 1920 sci-fi. Nobody's really thinking about that,
Right.
And this is like this to me feels like the precursor for everything that we see with sci-fi.
I think when you look at this cover, you think of Frazetta's take on when he did sci-fi. Because
Yeah.
it kind of feels like he's using their look to do his version of the sci-fi.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's cool.
You know what? Isn't that the first Flash Gordon? I always get Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers mixed up. So
Right.
always.
So which one is it? Is it Buck Rogers or
No,
Flash
it's Buck
Gordon?
Rogers. It's Buck
Okay.
Rogers. But I always get them mixed up though.
Okay.
But I love this cover. All right. Next is Snappy Stories 1924. I was kind of surprised by that. But this is well over 100 years old. And this sold for $32.
1924, bro.
That's
That is
something else.
101 years old. And it's a very nice cover.
Mm-hmm.
Well done.
I don't think
32 is very cheap.
I don't think I have the listing for it.
And
But,
apparently the book is still intact because the little pictures I'm seeing connected to the auction looks like it's all together. I don't see separate covers and stuff.
Yeah.
That's amazing, bro. 101 years old.
Only sold for $32.
See, I would have been on that all day if I knew,
know.
if I was even caring to look. I wouldn't even know to look up Snappy.
Yeah.
So, you know what I look up when I'm searching? I just put in pulp. That's it. And I look
Yeah.
at what comes up. So,
Uh-huh.
interesting.
All right. Next is True Romances, September 1937. I like this. I mean, listen, all these images here I like, but let's see. Do I have a listing for this?
Great looking cover art. Great choice of colors for the backdrop red with her wearing all white. Man, it is cool. And $4.99. What the fuck?
I know.
Jesus. I gotta start doing some more, like really delve into, because I would have bought that all fucking day at $5. I don't even give a shit about that little chewed up corner.
I know.
This art, the coloring. And again, when you look at her and you look at the way she's dressed, you can almost see somebody saying, I'm going to do a modern day version of like White Queen or something, and just use that cover,
Ooh.
just use that cover, use that exact,
Ooh.
This
is
Can you
striking.
check it out for real. Think of it. If you think about some of the talent right now, and they took White Queen and put it on an exclusive cover, all red background, exact pose, exact everything, the fur, the white dress, the jewelry, and then you just blonde out her hair and do that same hairdo, it would kill.
Hell yeah.
It would kill. It's a gorgeous cover, bro. $5 is like giving it away. That's a steal.
And it's from 1937.
Right. 10-cent cover. Look at that big price tag. I love that. 10 cents. Real big and bold.
This should be encapsulated.
Yep. And in fact, I'm gonna start looking for this one. If I could find a decent copy like this for even, I would pay $30-$40 for this. You know, I gotta look for it now. I love it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Hopefully it's a long story short worthy book. We'll see.
You know, if I was watching you and I had my phone in my hand, I would have been doing a quick search as soon as you showed that. That's how nice it is. Yeah.
All right. Okay, so not so hot book alert. We've talked about this book before
Hmm.
on this, but this is Outlawed #1, the 1 in 50 variant.
That's a huge drop.
Yo, I sold mine for but shout out to Longshore because he made a lot of us some money.
Right.
And because this book got high, it was
Right.
like around in the $500 range for a raw copy at one point.
He
But
probably talked about this because it's a bubblegum cover, no?
yeah.
Yeah. Or a bubble cover, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, because this was during what 2021 around that time that this book
Hmm.
got hot, and it featured what Riri and Kamala Khan, and we were certain that they were going to be really breakout stars in the
Hmm.
MCU, and that didn't happen.
Yep.
The jury's still out on Miles Morales because he is not in the MCU yet.
And
But
they didn't do any shows yet, right? There was no Miss Marvel yet.
no
Definitely
Miss Marvel yet.
no Riri.
No
And
Riri.
yeah, so what I guess also what makes this book what it was before was the fact that who ordered 50 copies of Outlaw #1 to get this?
And this was like, I believe this was right before COVID hit.
Yeah.
Right before.
That was whoever got this, I feel like they got a great deal. I mean,
Yeah.
considering what it was getting, even though they're saying 9.2, I would still say I'm never gonna pay 400-500 for it. So I'm more than happy to grab it for $22,
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah. Outlaw. This is a blast. This is a blast from the past all day,
Right.
every day.
Yep.
All right. Getting to a proper slideshow here. Submariner Comics, number 13 from 1944 is the Alex Schomburg bondage cover. All right, so what are we doing here? 60 total on the census. The highest is a 9.6.
Wow.
9.6, 9.4,
9.6.
9.0. So there's,
Wow. What a great.
yeah. All
You
right.
gotta remember this book dropped during the war.
Mhm.
Like, how the fuck did it stay at 9.6 or 9.4?
Where were these things? Where were these things being stored?
That's what I'm saying. The world was at war. It was World War II. And also like society was like fucked, like they were the depression, everything. So somebody took good care of their books or just never sold them and they sat somewhere until somebody found them.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, there's like a story for like every collection out there.
7,000, huh? For a
Yeah.
6.0?
Yeah, this CGC 6.0 sold for $7,000.
You brought this book up with Ben, right? You did, because I remember the talk about the snake being around the chick and
Oh
also
yeah.
all of the villainy things going on in the background, guys in hoods. I remember you guys talking about that. I just don't think it was specifically the sale. It was something,
Mhm.
a different, sale. I didn't think that book was Raw, the one you guys talked about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm
Wow. That is an extremely healthy sale for this $7,000. See, this is
sick.
why I don't sell my golden age, my timely books. Like I think some people have asked me before, like, what would be the books you keep if you did sell, like, say, like a huge chunk of your collection?
Yeah.
I think my keepers, even like, I would rather keep all of my Timeless and Atlas books over anything else, because there's such a slim, like, findings of anything that's fully intact without restoration, and all that stuff. I don't know. It's Even when I do see several copies still exist of, like, actively selling on eBay and stuff, I'm amazed. Like, I'll sit there and watch it sometimes just to see what they get.
Yep. Um. Yeah. You know, ETA Nick.
Mm, I don't think so.
Okay, so he was a guy that I watched like probably 10 years ago,
Right,
and he kind of retired from the hobby. I want to say like 5-ish years ago.
right.
And but he basically kind of chronicled his retirement from comic collecting, but he said he was going to sell off what he didn't care about and just keep a long box of what he really wanted to keep.
And he
You know
kept
what I
all
mean?
Golden Age.
I was thinking, I don't know if he really had golden age like that. I know he had like a
Okay.
lot of silver age,
All
but
right.
I understand. But when you brought up the books that you wanted to keep, it made me think of that. You know what I mean? Like you keep it, like if you ever decide to get out of collecting,
Right.
um, what would be the books that you keep if you could only like have a long box, you
Let
know?
me let me let me show you this real quick. I think I've showed this to you before. I might have sent you a picture of it. Um, Look at this. This is a Human Torch #1, right, from 1954. This is L. Miller and Son, which is the UK version of it.
Yeah.
And there's a whole lot less of the UK version, way less than the American version, right? Um, when this book first came to me, it was signed by Dick Ayers already. It was a yellow label,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a 1-0, right? And I had a friend who did a signing with Stan Lee back in 2016. And I told him, when you do crack it for the signing, to give it a little bit of a light touch of a cleaning, maybe a slight press, because he said he
Yeah.
had to be very careful with it because of the
Yep.
age. And I told him also, when you get Stan Lee to sign it, try to get him to sign like Dick Ayers, which was like in an old school pen, so it kind of looks correct together.
Yes.
I didn't want it to be in a Sharpie because then it would look wrong. And I got, it came back half a grade higher, 1.5. But this is like a forever keeper, like
Mm-hmm.
forever. I don't give a shit that it's not the American #1. I don't care that the cover is reused art, but it's just, show me another one. Find me a Human Torch #1 from the UK, from that exact same. And trust me, I look. And if you go on the CGC census, there's, slim pickings, stuff that's been submitted. So I will, like I said, I'm not saying I'm gonna die with these books, but it'll probably be the last thing that I really want to let go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Weird Mysteries, #2. Bernard Bailey cover. This is from 1952.
Oof,
Okay,
nice.
so look at the census here. So we've got 80 total on the census.
Right.
19.2, and then it goes down to an 8, and then 757. It's like, step. It kind of it's like steep drop, and then kind of it's like steps along the way, all the way down to a 0.5.
Yeah.
Okay,
What
so
did it sell for?
this CGC 6.5 sold for $3,250.
Oof.
Uh, it's so
I can
weird because
see I can
I
see why it got that much.
I mean this is wild.
Yeah, it is a wild cover, bro. But I love the colors. I love all of the different demonic faces, and like there's a lot. It's just a very artistic, well done horror cover.
Look at that.
Yeah,
6'5".
that's pretty.
Beautiful colors on this.
Yeah. I had that book, but mine was a shit copy. I had like I want to say 1.5 or a 2.0. It was beat to shit and it was raw, and I sold it a long while ago.
I'm
I didn't get my.
interested.
I
Look at
think I
that.
sold mine for, I don't know. I want to say $100
Oh wow.
back
Yeah,
back
back in the day. Yeah.
yeah, maybe 5 6 years ago. Not even way back in the day, just 5 6 years ago. I got $100 for it. But like I
Okay.
said, it was beat to shit. Look at that back cover, huh?
I know. Look at the ad.
They got,
She's like,
imagine you're a kid, you own this book, and then you flip it over, and it's like a chick
"Bro,
selling her fucking garter belts and shit.
bro, I would be in the bathroom, right?
Yeah.
If I, oh my god, forget about it. Forget about it.
Yeah.
All right. Sheena, Queen of the Jungle, #1 from 1942. Dan Zelnarowicz. Dan Zelnarowicz cover, but this is #1.
I've never
For
seen the
Sheena.
#1 before, ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did shit. I didn't even know Sheena #1 even existed.
That's what I was gonna say. I felt like, because I've always found them like in the 80s and 90s, like, those.
Uh-huh.
And I said maybe it was one of those books where it was a title before and then it just transitioned into Sheena, because
Yeah.
she was always like in what, Jungle Comics and stuff. So I was assuming that maybe it was a different title, and then at some point she became the focus and it just became Sheena. But I never knew there was a #1. That's
Mm-hmm.
cool.
So this is from 1942. And let's see. 9290 52 total on the census.
Right.
Okay. And there is so universal 9.2 and a restored 9.2. All right. So a CGC 6.0 sold for $1,500. Do you like that price?
I think it's cool. I think it's a good price. I mean, listen, hardcore Golden Age, 1942, 6.0 is, to me, like, again, that's once it goes over that mid-grade mark, to
Mm-hmm.
me, I'd say Golden Age is like almost like, that's high grade for a Golden Age,
That's very high
Um,
grade. Yeah.
right. And it is a cool cover, it's I mean, I'm gonna be honest, there's a bunch of other artists that I like a little better than this
Mm-hmm.
guy. But again, #1 Sheena, and I didn't know it fucking existed. And if I saw it in the 6L with for $1,500, I'd probably definitely be into buying that.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that a lot. So what, it was a best offer accepted,
Let me see.
because I thought I saw a 2000
Yeah.
something price tag
Best
on it.
offer accepted. Yep.
Wow, he took 1,000 off of it. He must have been he must have missed a cell phone bill or something. I don't know.
Damn. I
That's a
know.
big.
That's
That's
like
a
that's crack money right there. Shit.
$1,000. Okay.
All right. Mystic Comics #1 from 1944. So this is volume 2 of the series. This is a Sid Shores Bondage swastika cover.
Another #1 issue. And I had no idea. I never heard of, to be honest, I've never seen a Mystic Comics #1.
I know.
Didn't, yeah.
It looks like a swastika stand. You know what I mean?
But it's exciting for a Golden Age cover. Like
Mm-hmm.
the coloring, the whole, like I said, yellow and black, and the whole trade looks interesting. Everything's cool about it. It's got a superhero flying in. Interesting. I didn't. Is he
56.
flying or is he diving from above?
It is
That's
the.
the that's
I
the
think
angel. All right.
he
He flies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
But 56 total on the census.
All right.
2 9.6s. And this CGC 6.5 sold for $1,200.
What does a 9.6 go for then?
I know. That's wild. Okay,
He-
which one do you like better, this or the Sheena?
this
Okay.
because of the war theme. Because I think war theme books, especially like covers with Nazi shit and a hero defeating them, always seems to be a really good. I would feel so much better having this on my comic wall than a Sheena one.
I got you.
You
Yeah,
know what I
look at
mean?
the colors on this are just
The
wild.
colors and like I said, the whole Nazi flag and him coming in, kind of fucking them up.
Hmm.
It's everything you really want on a war cover, and it's a number one. I mean, the Sheena was a number one too, but and look at this. You got Bondage, you know. Um, yeah, this is absolutely the better cover,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Oh, I agree. Look at that. There's a lot going on with this cover, and it's wild.
Yeah,
Love it.
yeah.
All right.
And there's a villainess, right? That chick is wearing a mask, the one underneath the little Nazi flag.
Yes, it's a bad
Yeah,
guy. Yeah, she's
yeah,
a bad girl.
she's the bad guy. Okay, all right,
Hmm.
good.
Sexy too. All right. Flying Jenny. Dude, I've never heard of this before. Flying Jenny, #2 from 1946. This is a Matt Baker cover. I've never heard of this,
Flying Jenny, no, never heard of it either.
but I mean, it's Matt Baker.
She looks like the chick from what's that character that Dave Stevens liked to draw the
Oh,
Valkyrie?
Betty Page.
No, I mean, but what's that cover that was famous where there's a character that I think her name is Valkyrie. She was based on a Golden Age character, and then Dave Stevens started to do what was that book called? I can't think of it now. I don't want to.
Oh shit!
But she's wearing the same pants, and the shirt is wide open, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah. I know.
yeah,
Airboy used
Airboy,
to do.
yeah.
Yeah,
But I think the character's name, the chick's name, was Valkyrie.
Valkyrie. Yep.
I want to say it's Valkyrie, and it looks like this character. So I know Dave Stevens used to draw from a lot of Golden Age stuff, and to do his stuff. So maybe it's Flying Jenny that he was thinking of when he did the Valkyrie stuff, or was Valkyrie already a created character before him?
Um, I,
Was she
I
like a Golden Age character, and he just brought her back
I'm thinking Valkyrie and Airboy came before.
before, right? And he just
Yep.
kind of brought it back. Okay, all right. But
Hey,
Matt Baker,
hey,
so.
Josh, which book does your mom's boyfriend have? Is it the Flying Jenny or the Mystic? Because that is great. Okay, take a look at this. Take a look at the census on Flying Jenny. So we got 20 total. Two.
Love census.
The Sheena #1. Okay, hell yeah. Look at that. Two 8.5s, two 8s. No 9s or anything like that, which is good. I'm not mad at that. All right. CGC 5.5 sold for $1,109.
Mm.
I don't know, man. That looks like a good price to me.
For the grade and it's Matt Baker. I mean, Matt
Yeah.
Baker is
I'm not mad at this.
right.
All right. In the now we're in the modern age here. Howard the Duck, #2. This is a 1 in 50 Mahmoud Asrar variant.
Please tell me this is like a $4,000 book. I found this book finally, and I don't remember it being like an expensive book. Well, what is? You surprise me, please.
Okay, so this is the 1 in 50 Run the Jewels variant, right?
Right.
Okay. 90 total on the census. Actually, I totally forget what this book sold for, but it was good. But it was enough for me to put it on the list, though. So
okay,
55 9/8, 4 signature series 9/8, and a raw copy sold for $300.
Wow. Okay.
So, that's interesting.
I paid nowhere near that. it'll make you sick to the stomach if you knew what I paid.
You probably got it for cover price.
No, never that. Trust me, I'm not that lucky. But I think if you boil down to, because I bought a little stack of, and I grabbed this,
Yeah.
and probably after all the wheeling and dealing, how much can we do on this stack? I think maybe 30, $40 I paid for it.
Yeah. Basically
Yeah.
close to ratio.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah,
like again, I didn't pull it thinking it was a $300 book. I pulled it because I know the Run the Jewel stuff is, because I was just gonna put it into the MyLite and then reprice it, and I
yeah.
haven't done that yet. It's still sitting in a box. But Jesus, I didn't know it was gonna get a sale like this. I didn't even know it looks like somebody had it at 550 and took a $300 best offer. So I
Right.
didn't even know it was even considered a $500 book. Maybe I'm not paying attention. So
But it sold for $3, so it's
good.
still
I'm
impressive.
glad.
Very
Yeah.
impressive. All right, Nightwing 105. See, we weren't done with the Nightwing Dan Mora variants.
Mhm.
Okay, now on my last haul video, I talked about this book and how I think about, I'm gonna say like a month ago, there was a copy that sold for $100, right? And and I knew that this book was at my store. I knew it.
Right.
I knew it. And I went out there and I found it. I was so happy. So I talked about it. And I don't know. I think that might have kickstarted more sales for this. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, but we'll get into it. This is the cover B. This isn't a ratio, by the way. This is just a regular cover B. All right. Okay. So 25 total on the census. 12 9/8s, 6 signature series 9/8s. All right. Take a look. So 2 copies sold this week for $150 each. Different sellers, different locations.
And 5 days apart.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so on the 8th, you had a sale for $150, and then on September 13th, which was just yesterday, you had. Can we safely say that Dan Mora plus Nightwing equals money? I believe so.
I want to say it. Hold on, I got a question about this because you would know better than me. I'm not really a DC guy, but wasn't the series around this era doing really well? Like it was really well written, and it was kind of talked about on a weekly basis on different comic shows on YouTube. Wasn't it a thing?
You know what's funny? I never
Nightwing...
noticed this. I never noticed this series.
I'm telling you, I do remember, because I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really do DC, but I think I have this or one of the variations of this issue, because I do remember somebody kept saying it was a great, great read. And I said, all right, fuck it, I'll give it a try. And I think I bought somewhere around 6 issues from this particular area of the run. Because I think it had something to do with a writer coming on board and really breathing fresh air into the character again. And then it just got lucky with some really great artists. So
Tom Taylor is the writer, man.
Man, okay. Again, I'm not a DC guy, so I don't know. But I do remember somebody kind of like kept saying that the book was good or the series was good and jump in on it, read it. So.
I'll tell you what, I definitely don't buy it for Tom Taylor's writing.
Okay.
I just buy it for the cover.
Okay.
But I was okay. So, but probably a month ago, this book was selling for $100, right? And then for the longest time, it was this $150 copy right here that sold on the 8th, and then it finally sold that Monday, and then that Saturday, we had another copy sell.
I'm curious because I can't check right now, but are there other copies of Nightwing 105 Dan Mora's on eBay right now for, I don't know, 175 or
I tell you
100?
what,
like, are they on there or no?
We can look it up
because I'm wondering, is are there other copies in the same price range waiting to be sold, possibly, or just not sell? Maybe it's just these two guys that decided I really want this book. I don't know.
Okay. So, okay. So there is a ratio, but this is a okay. So this is a card. This is a This isn't the cover B, but this is a foil.
All right, so then it was offered in two different.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a basic version and a foil version? Is that what?
Yep, basic cover B version,
Okay.
and and then you have this ratio. I believe this is the ratio, but it's a foil.
Okay.
So the set goes for $349. I don't think that's bad, considering each one of these and like
Prob
the regular.
gets over 100.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's not bad. That's not bad in my
I
opinion.
was just curious, like, is there another one on eBay right now? Like, can somebody go on there and find a deal or not?
Let's take a look.
So
Let's see.
I see the gold cover there by itself for
Yeah.
$80. Don't see another Dan Mora right now. There's more gold foil, so it seems like the tougher one would be the Dan Mora.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to know, like, can you just randomly right now look it up and there'll be two or three more for $100 to
Yeah,
$175?
I know
And
what you mean.
apparently not.
Yeah, they seem to be gone.
Okay.
So your only bet is to buy the foil. That
So
foil
now
set.
I'm going to be forced to, at some point during this week, to dig through my DC bullshit and see if I somehow luckily pulled that book off the wall instead of the cover A.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure somebody talked me into buying this around this time, because I see some other covers there that it look really, really familiar. And I'm like, okay, I think hopefully I got this and I can put it out. I wouldn't try to sell it for 150 though.
Right.
I'd be happy to get 70, like half that for it.
All right. But
Right.
like that price. Like those prices.
Yes. Okay.
All right. Transformers Generation 1. Number 4. So this is a Pat Lee incentive variant featuring Megatron on the cover. So this is from 2004. Okay, so 7 total on the census with 6 9/8s, 1 signature series 9/8. You know the story about Pat Lee, the story on Pat Lee, right?
No, I don't.
Okay, so he ran Dreamwave early 2000s, right? And
Okay.
because this is actually one of the things that got me back into comics was this Transformer series from Dreamwave.
Okay.
And Pat Lee was doing the writing and the art, and his art is featured on the Japanese reissues of the Transformers toys,
Okay.
right? And it turns out Pat Lee didn't pay his artists at Dreamwave. And there were stories of him like riding around in a however many $100,000 sports car, and he hadn't paid his artist.
Wow.
Yeah. So Dreamwave wound up folding shortly thereafter.
Okay.
But yeah. I'm not sure how that all got resolved, but I always thought that story was interesting. Now, whenever I see Pat Lee and his art on Transformers, I always think of that. But all right. We had a raw copy of this sell for $225. Wow. And the funny thing is, like, I'll come across Dreamwave Transformers, right? And I always have to stop and just to see. You know what I mean?
I know you're a Transformers guy. Do you have a deep Transformer collection, like basically from when they originally dropped, or do you find yourself owning more of them because you find them while you're digging now?
As far as the toys go,
No, I'm talking about the books.
Oh, the books. You know what? I'm not that big a fan of the Transformers comics.
Okay, because I feel like there was a period of time, because I, like you, I grew up loving Transformer toys,
Yeah.
and I don't like most of the toys that I've ever come across have always been raw. Like I've never found like sealed in the box. Like my LCS has had them from time to time, but I just didn't go for their prices. But like the comics, it felt like every time I bought the comics, I always bought the wrong fucking ones because none of them translate into $200.
Uh,
Um, so when I see these sales, I'm like, I got the shittiest luck because when I see something like this style, I'll start like while I'm trying to put together books for a show and I do come across Transformers, it's
yeah.
always some fucking $3 or $5 book. I have not found a 200 or $100 Transformers book that I bought back in the days.
Same here.
So
Same here. But it's funny, like I've come across some like GI Joes though.
yeah.
GI Joe
But 20
comics.
this book dropped 21 years ago. And like I said, I do have some Transformer books from that time frame, especially
Yeah.
some DWs, but I know for a fact I don't have this book. So I'm not even
I
gonna try looking for it, but I have every wrong issue. Like I probably have the same issue number, but different cover.
I
Guaranteed.
know.
Guaranteed. Like the bullshit cover. Yeah.
All right. What are we doing now? Oh, Josh, I think I got a printing error for Batman #1, cover A. There's a yellow spot on the moon. Haven't seen them listed. That'd be interesting. I want to see that.
Is that the Batman one that came from the blind bags?
Um
Or
the,
is this another
yeah,
series he's
just the regular cover. Yeah, just that
it's
regular
not
cover.
it's not blind bags, it's right. He's talking
No.
about like the ones that came out
Yeah.
regular covers. All right, I
Yep.
wouldn't know because when I went to my LCS the day those dropped, I think there's like legit, I'm not even exaggerating, I think 12 or 15 different covers.
I know. That's a
And
turn off, man.
yeah, it legit took up a whole like top shelf, just that, and then of course the blind bags. And I think the only one I grabbed just because was the J. Scott Campbell cover of Batman, which was lackluster. It wasn't even it just called out to me. You know, I said if I do grab one just to fuck around, I'll said I grabbed the J. Scott Campbell. But
I
so he's
need.
saying there's an error he has of this cover.
Yeah.
And what's the error? He said is a blemish on the moon or something,
Let's see.
or miscoloration. What is that?
Uh, a yellow
There's a
spot.
yellow spot in the moon. A yellow spot.
Hmm.
Hmm.
I want to. Yeah. When we meet up again,
Right.
I want to see that. All right.
The other cover, real quick, the other cover that was really cool from that Batman was
Mm-hmm.
Silvestri.
Yes.
Silvestri really did a good job with his cover. And mine, the one that I bought a blind bag from a friend on Whatnot, and he asked if I wanted to rip, and I said yeah, sure. And he pulled me a Silvestri, and it's like a Silvestri foil.
Yeah.
Really nice art by, so he's another one that hasn't lost a touch, man.
Oh,
He's
he still
really
got it.
fucking good. Yeah,
Still definitely got it.
yeah.
Oh, it's on his cape on the right
Oh,
side.
the yellow is on his cape.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I guess we got to keep an eye for that.
I know there were like spots on like New 52 books
Hmm.
like that, and they commanded a premium. So
Oh, okay.
I remember that.
Right.
All right. Batman Beyond #1 from 2011. 1 in 10 Darwin Cook variants. All right. This is one of my favorite covers as far as Batman Beyond goes. I love this cover.
Darwin Cook he really has some really awesome covers. He of course him and Bruce Timm are
Mm-hmm.
like this kind of the same, you know, as far as
Yeah.
their style. And he did an excellent job with Beyond Batman Beyond, you know. I
Mm-hmm.
was gonna cool covers. A lot of stuff he does cool covers. So
Okay, 37. I'm surprised by this. Only 37 total on the census.
All right.
19 9.8s, 3 signature series 9.8s. Okay. So we had 2 sales this week. One was for $10 after 4 bids on September 13th, and then the other was a buy it now for $89.
Well, why so drastically different?
That's weird,
Like,
man. That's so
oh,
weird. This is
wait. It's the same book, right? There's no variation or no newsstand. It's the same exact book.
yeah.
And a day apart, one sold for 90 and one sold for $11.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is proof that auctions, man, don't auction shit off if you don't care. If you care, don't auction anything off if you do care.
Yeah, it's very strange.
That's an experiment. That's an experiment right there.
Is this a Darwin? This is a Darwin cover, right?
Let me see.
This Witchblade animated #1 foil.
Yeah, very much so.
Right. I believe this is a Ben Ghost book.
That's not like some store exclusive, is it?
No, I have a note on the back. It just says foil variant, and that's it.
Oh, okay.
And it says Bone Bullock and Cook cover art. So,
hell yeah.
But I do remember him mentioning this in one of his episodes, and he said this is a ghost. The option is there's one without foil, and then there's this one. But this one here, it is true. I do not see often. I don't know how much of a ghost it is.
Yeah.
But it's funny that it's sitting here right by my foot while you were talking about Darwin Cook.
All right. Oh, and we're done.
Under 4 hours.
A little under 3.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I didn't get a chance to take my old man nap, and I'm not hopped up on caffeine.
I know. I saw you yawning a couple of times.
Oh man. I didn't get it because I was I stayed up late watching the fight, and then woke up early, and then like I was just gonna like veg out, and I was gonna veg out and not do anything, but then I remembered I had to meet up with Mike and Josh for the comics, so I had to, no time to rest.
Did you get any cool pickups? Because we started the show showing books that I picked up, and I didn't see you with anything. Did you have anything cool that you picked up recently?
It will be. We'll see it in the whole video. Yes,
you got it.
Yes,
I got this. I know you like vintage toys,
bro. Okay, hold on. Okay, okay, hold on.
And it's unpunched.
All right, so
but some browning on the bubble, and some, it's not high grade. Like the card is a little weathered, but it has original price tag still, and it's originally sealed. It's not a reseal, and it's got the coupon, everything on the back. This was the guy's asking price. This is not what I paid. Like you, I somehow managed to get this for $250.
Right on. Okay,
and I had to. So
there's a YouTube channel that I watch, Toy Federation, right?
Yes, I love that show.
Yo,
love it.
I was watching their video yesterday,
right?
Where the guy he got in the collection of Star Wars, and there was a carded. How do you pronounce that? That exact figure, exact fucking figure right there with the card, right? That exact figure with the card, and I was looking, and he was saying how rare it was, and with the coin and everything, and I was looking it up, and I was like, whoa, not bad. And here you go, showing it like the next day. That's funny.
I'm going to tell you why I've always been looking for this. First of all, I grew up being a Star Wars kid. Like I saw the first showing of the movie. I still have my original program, the only program they gave you on the release date.
Yeah.
Except for mine is like I really read it, and
it was love.
So
it was love.
So it's love, yeah. But so I grew up loving Star Wars, and I always loved the bounty hunters. They were like my favorite. I'm talking about Boba Fett,
Mm-hmm.
Bosk, IG-88, Zuckuss, all of them. So I started collecting only the bounty hunters on card, right? So I
Mm.
have the only closest thing I have to Boba Fett is I have the original backing card and I
Yeah.
have the figure, high grade, but no bubble. So the
Okay.
bubble apparently came off, and when I found it, the guy had just the card and the figure with no bubble. And I was cool with that. I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna, spend 2 grand on a sealed Boba Fett, but he's a bounty hunter. He's just not with them. He was in a scene, I want to say in what's his name? Jabba's little cavern, or
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
isn't
know what you're talking about.
isn't he from that scene where they're like panning the inside and you get like a glimpse of him real quick? I want to say he's one of the like bounty hunters or one of the thugs hanging out
Uh-huh.
in Jabba's lair. And so I've been kind of wanting one. I was willing to settle for one high grade, and loose without a cart.
Yeah.
But my LCS had this. Apparently, he bought a whole bunch of carded. He's got a couple more. I'm gonna go back for at some point. But I'm looking through his showcase of old action figures, and I see this motherfucker sitting there, and I saw 400. So I tell the owner, who's like I said, he's a great friend of mine, and I said, "What's the best you can do on this?" And he looked at it, and of course, I bust his balls about like it's a little rough over here and a little
Yeah.
browning, but I already knew it's super fucking tough, and so when he said 250, I was like sold. I said I got it, and so I'm happy to add that to the collection.
Hell yeah.
But as far as vintage toys goes, like I said, I know once in a while you like talking vintage toys, and that's for me, it's a big get because I didn't think I'd ever find one carded affordable.
I know, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
man. Yeah, yeah. Being
yeah,
able to find like these toys,
yeah.
I, it is a bit. It is like it is really uphill, man.
Yeah, that's why I said when you talk Transformers, I loved Transformers when I was a kid, and I did have all the G1s. Like I was a spoiled brat growing up, so I do remember having all of the original G1s, all of them. But I played with my toys, so I've ripped them out the box. The funny thing is, Transformer toys, like the boxes, just didn't have any real collectability to me. I used to cut the card out the back
Yeah,
and save the card, and I dumped the boxes. And all of my Transformers, I really played with them a lot when I was a kid. So by the time I got around to like refining them in the attic in a storage box, you could see the paint chips and missing pieces. And you know, I think I wind up selling them when I was like, I want to say 19 or 20.
yeah,
I sold them because I was into cars. And I had a Ford Mustang, so I think I sold like a whole box full of all of my original you had to see how many I had. I brought them to a comic store in Queens, New York, and he was more than happy to take them all. And he gave me some legit money, and I probably used them to put Flowmasters on my Mustang.
yeah.
So yeah,
So, in, but yeah, this is I'll show you if anybody can see. Here's my this is my Christmas toy chest video that I did right here. So if anybody wants to watch this, where I got like a bunch of sealed 80s Transformers.
yeah, yeah. I
So I
see
did
you like to pick up Transformers a lot. Like,
love,
did you ever
love it.
resolve that shit with the one where the guy sold it to you and but it wasn't sealed?
Yeah,
It was
yeah, yeah. I
like
definitely, yeah, I was
you
able to
resolved
return
it?
it. Oh
Okay,
yeah,
all right. Yeah.
returned it, got the money back, all that good stuff. So
Okay.
he wanted to play word games, and you know,
Yeah, I don't like I said, my LCS from time to time they get a lot of vintage toys, and when they do get Transformers,
hmm
I think I mentioned this to you last time we did the show. I said they always have the missing insert that holds them in the box, the clear little
yeah,
holder. So there's always something, and that's why I just never got into it because I was just like every time I find one box, there's always something going on with the box. I found I was set up at a trading card show for the first time, I think last year, and the guy across from me came with nothing but toys, and he had a Megatron still in the original box,
Mm-hmm.
but it was played with and then put back in, and the
Yeah.
box was like being held together with tape, and I was just like, dude, how much do you want for this? And when he said the price, I was like, you're pricing this like the box is like high grade. So I was just like, is there any like, do you have a different thing and a serious price in mind? And he just seemed like he was stuck at that price, and I would have grabbed it though if it was reasonable. But you know, right now the only thing I would buy high grade Transformers would be Jetfire, a box Jetfire,
I hear you.
because he's like. I think he was my favorite as far as Jets go back in when I was a kid. So, oh, by the way, I see somebody saying, "See y'all at New York City Comic Con." I'll be at booth 1575. I'm set up there, and all of the fellas from Beyond Wednesdays, Brian, Big Clutch, Big Leg, maybe Nate will be there.
Hell yeah.
So any of you guys are attending, Comic Con, come find me at 1575.
What are the dates?
October 9th through the 12th,
Mm.
which is
Okay.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah.
Okay. So the logistics of that, so you're sitting how many tables?
One
You get
table.
one table?
Dude, it's expensive as fuck, New York Comic Con. Like one booth, one, I want to say 10 by 8 or 10 by 10 is $2,100.
Get
So
out of here.
if you're getting multiple booths, then you're paying double that.
Okay,
Unless
so
you, yeah, go ahead.
do
Right.
you get to set up when's your setup?
You get to load in, I believe, 2 days before the show. So typically you would see maybe even 3 days, but I know that the people I set up with, like I try to go when other friends of mine are setting up.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happens when you go to the Javits is a pretty big fucking location, and you have to enter by car through like a back entrance where like trucks come in and stuff, and then
Yeah.
you go up like a ramp into like a dock area, and then they have union workers that forklift all your shit from your car to inside the showroom.
Okay.
And obviously, before they even lay down carpets, the dealers are there. So they give
Mm-hmm.
you spot numbers that are taped off, and so it's kind of a long process. Like I'll probably wind up showing up there at 6 in the morning,
Okay.
and legit, I won't be done bringing all my stuff in by the time you wait on the line and the whole thing. I'm telling you, it's like 6 to 8 hours of
Jeez.
between showing up, waiting in line, coming in, eventually getting into the actual place where they take all your shit from your car,
Yeah.
and then bringing your stuff in, unloading it from the forklift, and then you have to try to all your stuff, secure it into the location. If you have a comic wall, build the comic wall, because you're really not going to have a lot of time to play with day of. You know,
Mm,
when you show up day of, you want your walls to be up. You just want to be able to just show up and cover all your boxes and start putting all your wall books up.
I
You
got
know
you.
what I mean? So they let us in usually around 7:30 in the morning. The show opens at 10. Then they have like these early bird guys that come in like at 9:30. So you have less than 10 hours. I mean, 2 hours. I'm sorry. Less than 2 hours before you start having people walking up to your table.
Hmm.
And so like you really should take advantage. You get I think Tuesday I'm doing loading. Wednesday is also loading, but I want to be done on Tuesday.
Yes.
This way Wednesday I can be well rested and wake up nice and early for first day.
Now, are you able to like that the Tuesday and Wednesday? Are you able to, shop around as a
You
dealer?
can I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm so fucking nosy. I will once I quickly, because you gotta remember I'm not as big as some of these other dealers,
Yeah.
so it's like there's guys there that have like 6 booths, like my buddy Absolute Comics. Alex sets up with like I think I want to say 4 to 5 booths.
Yeah.
And so he's got a legit, like a monster wall set up. He's got,
Hmm.
I don't know, 60 boxes on a table. And he's a high volume seller. Like he's got multiple AF-15s, multiple FF1s, like, so, like it's worth him setting up that big and spending that kind of money because he's making, insane amount of money at this show. But I'll walk around and I'm nosy. I'll watch other guys like slowly unpacking their stuff and I'm like, I'm already like, especially with vintage toys, man. I'm like comics I see all day and his comics are falling out of my ears. But when I see
Yes.
a guy with vintage toys, matter of fact, the guy from Toy Federation, I don't know if you watch it enough where you know his friend who looks like a Hawaiian guy. He has like a raspy voice.
I think I know what you're talking
And
about.
apparently the story with them is they grew up together.
Okay.
So like they, like so he's at a lot of their episodes at shows though, not in the store, at
Yeah.
shows. And I met that guy in person and he had some insane fucking toys, bro. Like all the shit we grew up with, all the stuff we loved, everything in boxes and cards, and it was fascinating. And I sat there watching him do his display, and I just told him, I said, dude, I watch your buddy Toy Federation. I've seen you on the shows with him. I said, amazing stuff. I really love the content. You know what I mean? Um, and so he was like, yeah, and then he just started talking to me for a few minutes. But I said, look, I know you're busy. I'll catch up with you when you're done. I never had a chance to go back and talk to him because then once the show starts, it's like that's it. I'm
Yeah.
done. I'm back into. There's never a dull moment at my table. It's either filled with customers or the friends, people you haven't seen. Like I said, I'm going to see the Beyond Wednesdays guys. So first time I'm seeing Brian in person, which is I'm probably gonna be like talking to him for all 4 days, hanging out after the show. But that's what happens once New York Comic Con starts. There is really no time to really fuck around.
I got you. I got you.
But it's a cool. It is an experience. You know what I mean? Since I retired, I've made it a point, which is why I started to get on planes and go to shows now because I'm like, why not? Like, this is exactly the time I've been hoping to have freedom to go and do this. So I've been going, and next year I'm going to be going to San Diego, MegaCon. Um, I'm going to go back to Huntsville for Mark Spears. Yeah, so I think next year I'm probably going to go out of New York for maybe 4 or 5 big shows for the first
Okay.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
This year I went to Huntsville for Mark, FarleyCon, which was in Tennessee. I was there with Big Leg in Farley,
Hmm.
and it was a blast. It was a ball. Um, dude, I have a lot of fun. And like I said, and I think I heard you say you want to go to Pittsburgh for something.
Yeah, we're good. Okay, so November 23rd
Right.
is the Pittsburgh Comic Show, and
Yeah, you see.
I'll be setting up there. Me and Dino, actually.
Yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised like if we don't get to finally meet in person because I never met Dino and I never met you in person. I've watched your shows forever, and we've always like either I'm fucking around in your chat or now doing a show.
Yeah.
And it'll be really cool to meet you guys in person. So I may take the ride just to say I met you guys in person, and of course, fuck around and see what I can find.
Hell
Because I've
yeah.
never been to Pittsburgh for a show, so I can mark it off my little. And plus, my boy will be set up there, so he's more of an incentive as well because I may be driving with him.
Yeah.
So which means I get in with you guys, dealers and set up.
Oh, that is one. Oh,
So.
that's
Yeah.
terrific. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell
Because
yeah.
it's always cool when you can get in well before everybody, so you can go around and say hello, shake hands, talk a little, and then also be the first to see walls going up and what's what.
The days
So
of me waiting at shows, man. Those
yeah,
are
I don't do that anymore. I won't go to a show unless I have some kind of an angle. So,
unless you can slide, you know what I'm saying? You can slide in
yeah,
early. I know.
yeah. Yeah, dude, when you go to shows, right? I'm talking about really big shows. And if you already have that in where you have an exhibitor's pass or whatever, a
Yeah.
guest badge, and when you see that fucking line outside, do you ever look and say, those days are long over? I am never doing that again. I am never standing in line for 2 hours. I'm never standing with, 400 people in line. That is never happening again. So, yeah, that's the main reason is I know my boy is going to be set up there and I'll get in dealer wise. I'll have a badge. And again, the other part is meeting you guys in person.
Hell
So,
yeah. Yeah, we'll
yeah.
definitely be there. Pittsburgh Comic Show, November 23rd. It's the Sunday before Thanksgiving.
Oh, all right.
So, hell yeah.
Oh.
Good times. All right, everybody. You can be anywhere in the world, but you're here with us, BSing about comics, and I appreciate that. So, on behalf of Heroes Reborn Comics, we thank you for joining. And so possibly Tuesday flip side. And I don't think we have long story short.
Oh, Dino's doing the show on Tuesday, you said?
Yeah, we have a Tuesday Tales from the Flip Side. So
Okay.
So
Okay, cool.
everything is kind of like wobbly on that front because I was sick last week. Right. And Dino was sick the week before that. So, but things should be squared away for this Tuesday. But I'll have a comic book haul sometime this week. So
cool. I look forward to that. Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. And we will circle back next week for all new Hot Book Alert Live. All right, everybody.